How serious is this podcast?
I know it's a serious podcast, but is it like we've been serious already? I know it's a serious podcast.
Hard chats and hard hats. We get the hard.
Talk about the bricklaying days and all that.
Yeah, we want everything from you. From wearing your outfit, socks, all sorts. I mean,
still wearing socks.
They can't stop you.
The way you know if this is a serious podcast or not, you just look at him and me and say, "Nah, this isn't serious podcast."
It's Simos and Monkfish. Hard chats and hard.
Yo, it's your man Simo, Sim Dicky, Sim Card, Sim Frame, aka the real Sim Shady.
I'm Monkfish.
Yeah, it's the boy Fabu D, aka the Jungle Fever.
Oh yes.
I know, right? In fairness, we didn't give him the heads up for.
No, we didn't give that was off the Dawn Fair Play. First episode.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the crew.
Yes, can't wait.
Welcome to the host and
Can't
crew.
wait. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
And weird.
Love it.
Oh, get ready. Let's get ready, man.
Oh, look,
How was your week, Simbappe?
my week as usual, madness always. But
What's any more for us?
So we'll give Kieran a little insight, right? Kieran, right? So I'm working in one of the biggest sites now in Europe, the National Children's Hospital, right? So I don't think if you've seen RTE or that.
Yeah,
about this,
it's in
31 fires in 4 weeks. This man or these men or these ladies are setting 31 fires.
They've been setting fires and people have had to go
in the
home.
building, just
Like big fires or small?
it could just be and it could be a bit of paper and just fucking it into a room and then lighting up loads of shit and then fucking letting studded walls and all. You know what that is. You work in the building, so you know yourself.
Not a crack.
But as I was saying, right?
You worked on the building site as well, actually.
Did you?
for a day,
I seen that the other day, your little bricklayer and all.
Yeah, I was trying to pick bricks, man. That shit was heavy. Oh, really?
Yeah, but right, should see the amount of money they're losing from this. I'm not even messing, right? So I was talking to one of the main fellas from BAM. I think he's saying, right, so 40 grand every time 100 grand every time the alarms go off in the building.
Jeez.
Right? So then he said multiply that by the people on the site, so that's like 1,200 people for an hour. Do the maths, I don't know what it is, but it's mad money.
Is this the place where like the
The
budget
hospital
is just gone?
that
what's
yeah.
that now?
What did they say there the other day in the news? They said what, it'll be finished 2025.
Should
They're
they
willing
put
me bollocks.
But what type of money is it now? Remember it said it was like
the
a small
money.
budget, wasn't it? And then now it's like
Oh,
meant
it's
to be
in
huge.
billions.
You
It's in the
mean
billions.
It's
It's in the
one of
billions.
the dearest hospitals
In the
Europe
world.
or something.
Why?
In the world now.
Like, and how does it look? Does it just look like?
You know what?
Because your
There's
fellas like him walking on it.
Yeah,
There's
suppose.
corridors in this place. I mean, there's corridors longer than Grafton Street in here. There's
Is it the one in
kilometers of
Inchicore,
corridors.
Kilmainham? Is that
Yeah,
one?
that's the one. The big huge one.
Yeah.
The most expensive hospital in Inchicore. I mean, what can they put in somewhere?
Of course, that has been heard.
Of course, yeah.
It's not.
But like, it's down to bleeding.
10 grand reward, wasn't that?
10 grand reward on your man's head, and ever since they've put that up, there's been no more fires.
Is it the same person doing it?
You know,
I'd say it was.
We don't know.
I think it was you, because you always seem to be back on the same when
There's a lot of people saying, Simo, I think it's you, but look,
Yeah, because you're the only one that's really been recording it.
genuinely, it's not me. Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Look, it's not me.
So you had a good week anyways.
But my week is grand. Monksy, how was your
Quite a
week?
grand week. We had back in work after
A little
ligaments
injury.
in my ankle.
Yeah.
Back in work this week. Got me job today.
The job.
Yeah.
What type
Got
of
the
job?
job. The Janssen.
Janssen.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, so
Do you
tomorrow.
know what? I walked into the chemist and yeah, one was pissing herself laughing. I just walked in and she was like, "Are you here for your vaccine?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here for that freedom juice."
Is it freedom juice?
It's freedom juice.
How was it?
Cause I
don't
did you not see me in Circuit K earlier? I was going in going, I can touch everything now, and if anyone says that, just pull out my card and go,
Yeah,
"Ah!"
I don't have the jab, and I've been touching everyone's breakfast rolls. There's no fear. I know, but I
So when you get a job, you get a card.
You get a card, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for someone to start doing fake cards now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's only cardboard.
I swear to God, I put it up on my Instagram earlier and someone texted me saying, take that down because people are scanning your QR code and using it.
Yeah.
It's like a coffee card you get for like stamps.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
like paper, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is.
There'll be
Saving a fortune.
Fakes
They don't
all
even
over the place.
laminate it for you. That
It'll be
thing's gonna get
microchips in
ruined
the
in
next
my
few years.
fucking
Oh, I
wallet.
can't
How do you
even
know there's
wait.
how do you know there's not microchips into them needles again?
Yeah.
There was
But
actually a thing
don't-
going
don't
on.
have
Have you
we-
got better phone frequency?
5G. 5G.
As soon as you get a job, oh shit, I get hard network now. Hello, mommy, I can hear you clearly now.
Free Wi-Fi.
You're clear.
You don't even have a phone anymore. You just start pressing your arm. Hello.
That would be
That's what
deadly,
they're on about,
man.
like 2030. Do you hear the Elon Musk thing, no?
Oh,
He's on about
madness.
Neuralink.
Neuralink,
You heard
yeah.
about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
like
course.
basically you're going to put like a chip in your brain. It's meant to help like...
We're gonna go down this rabbit hole.
And you'll be able to
Let's
see
go
it.
down.
Yeah.
Let's go down it.
Well, basically what they're trying to do is just like to help like kind of like epilepsy and like strokes and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But they reckon that like with the technology that they have and they're developing is, or that they have is basically you can look at me and we're going to be able to talk to each other without speaking.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're going to be able to
Synced.
translate languages.
No,
There'll be no language.
Nah,
No language.
hell no.
There'll be no
That-
language barrier.
No language barrier.
How? So if I look at you, you can tell me.
I can say you're
You're a
Right,
prick.
so look.
Oh my God,
So
no,
put
no.
this into perspective, right? So say you're speaking some native language of yours, yeah,
Yeah.
and you're speaking Irish, right?
Yes.
But no, listen to this.
understand.
You can understand everything he's saying. He can speak back slang, whatever he
No
could.
way.
you'd be able to understand me in German.
So literally, if I look
Well,
at
it gets
you,
better
so
than
if
that.
I look at you and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, he might be a choir. And you can look at me. You can look at me like, are you calling me? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no, man.
Yeah.
El David
that's
Mac Savage over here.
But even like they're
You
saying
might
like
be a
mad,
corner.
like mad stuff. They're saying like so like jiu-jitsu for example. You remember the Matrix? Do you remember the
Yeah,
first?
do you understand
And then
that?
your man Neo is it?
Neo,
He
yeah.
turns around and
The
says,
one.
"I've learned jiu-jitsu."
Don't
Or I
even
know
say
jiu-jitsu.
that.
No,
Don't even
it's
say
called-
that.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
so you don't have to
Digital.
like you just like upgrade you.
Coded.
Man.
2030, they reckon is going to be like the year for AI and all that.
Man, you might
So there won't be any competitions anymore.
Yeah,
because-
but
And if they all complete it.
You can tell. You can even tell when his hand is coming. Like, I know your leg's coming.
Yeah.
Because you can tell. You can read his mind,
It'd be like the
man.
Matrix.
Yeah,
Man.
but
Man.
they're already starting, right? So listen to this, right? So see, like, we're talking, right, about this. Remember the PlayStation 5 came out? Remember the videos and all, right? PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5. You say that around, right, and then your phone listens to that.
Your
And
ad-
what's your
ad
ads?
comes up.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens.
AI is already starting.
That's true.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That is so true.
Yeah, already there.
When I realized that was actually happening, I wasn't really scared. I just looked at my phone. I was like, I'm broke. So I mean, give me a fucking solution to I'm broke. I like, hey, I'm broke. Say something, you know. But that's
Then
pretty
you
low.
probably have like banks and like credit unions now advertising loans.
Oh, that's
That type of
true.
stuff.
That's a solution to be
That's the
broke.
solution. Well,
Oh my.
temporary solution. Isn't
After,
it?
okay, I'll
You're
change the
still
plan.
broke when you
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
someone- get a
I
loan off
heard,
them.
right, you talking about all that loans and all, but we're going down a mad tangent here, but anyway, right? Remember Provident, the people that give loans out?
Yeah.
See anyone that had a loan with them and still had an outstanding loan, they're just gone now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't owe them nothing.
No way.
Man,
They're just
imagine
gone.
that.
So man, we were
Did
lucky
that
to have a
happen with the
loan with
banks or
them, man.
something?
I know a few stories like that as well. Like say from like I'll just say a friend got a loan out years ago for
Yeah.
like say a Toyota Supra. He was about 19 years of
So
age.
York that.
Yeah, unreal. And then like a company just like kind of went like broke and that, and then he didn't have to
Yeah, it
pay
happened
back.
with a bank or something, didn't it, years ago?
It happened to loads of them. but
Yeah,
see,
they just go.
they just handing out money to young
Yeah,
lads
all
like
the
back in the
jammy,
boom.
all the jammy bastards, man, getting
We should go
mortgages
about
and then
12
just
grand off
wait.
some yoke and say,
Man, if
"Look,
that
hey,
happens,
that's
That's what they're doing in the boom. Just like so remember
But my
like
bank stays open. I don't know what the fuck. I want it to go. I'm praying like go. Like when you just go broke for a second, they're still alive.
Why your bank stays open?
No, because everyone's like,
24-hour bank.
yeah, I'm leaving my money for them to go broke one day. Come on, man, I'm getting old. Just go broke for me, man. But they never do. But that's crazy. That's
Here,
really,
let me pull you all out of the rabbit hole, right? Because before we started
Yeah,
this,
Kieran.
yeah, well, Kieran is here, right? So for anyone that's listening and watching
Yeah,
now,
listening and
Now
watching
watching.
here now.
yeah.
Up on the YouTube.
if they don't know who you are, give us a little bit about yourself.
where to start? Basically, what I do is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a black belt under John Kavanagh. John Kavanagh is the head coach and founder of SPG Ireland.
Up
So
to lads.
Conor McGregor's coach, probably a lot of people would know him by.
Yeah.
So basically, what I do at the moment, I used to fight MMA. Now I coach MMA, coach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. and I compete at professional level at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Fair play to brother.
So
Absolutely.
that's
That's
me.
a serious old
So
CV there,
we have
isn't
to
it?
be, we have to be
CV
really
in a
careful
nutshell.
now because he might not go ahead anyway.
Well, you might have the newer links, so you'll be able to counter what I'm about to do.
You're not going to know.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Imagine.
Oh, I'm going down this already again.
Yeah.
So imagine you're sitting on the loose, right? And you're just sitting there, and some cunt, you don't know, he's probably talking about you, and you're, that cunt's talking about me.
I wonder in the beginning would it have to be like you link up kind of like Bluetooth. Do you know? Do you have to link it like the way you connect to a speaker?
Infrared and all
So you
that.
can't just be going around listening to
Air-
everyone's thoughts.
True,
Do
very
you ever
true.
watch Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite series,
That'll
man.
fuck
I
with your head,
love.
That was.
You know what's a mad one? You know the one where like you have to when they're running on the treadmill and then they're trying to get out to go compete on some reality show to like make themselves
is that,
famous.
Player Ready One, is it? That a film?
Yeah.
The
Oh.
film.
No. Was it? I think it was an
There's a-
episode.
Oh, was it? I thought there's something
There's
like
been
that.
some mad ones anyway.
Yeah, like you're in a video game, but you're actually in your gaff.
I watched that movie.
Player Ready. If
It-
some,
I know that one, yeah.
And you have
Oh,
you have to
yeah.
find the key, find out the amount
Like that Netflix film.
Yeah.
that's the one.
I love that movie,
The
man.
pig one and the Prime Minister one was rough.
Oh yeah,
was a rough
that
one.
was the fucking.
There's some madness
Yeah,
going on,
that
but I
was-
looked.
What was that Netflix film? The one where and he's in the Netflix and you get to choose. You're actually sitting there
It was
watching.
Black Mirror.
Oh, that's Bandersnatch. It was
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch.
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
actually watching the film, but you get to decide what happens
Oh, it
next.
interacts with you on the.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's they made it so many
What's
ways.
the name?
that
What's the name
were-
of it?
Bandersnatch.
I'm gonna watch
There's a
that.
Bear Grylls one now as well.
Is there?
Yeah,
And you
basically
get
like
to
he
choose.
goes to a cliff and there could be like I don't know, a snake on it, or whatever. and
Do
then
I go left or
Yeah,
do I go
right.
right or do I
Right,
go
you
to
die.
the pub?
Yeah.
You know what I
Go to
mean?
the pub. I'd rather go to the pub.
No, I'm not even gonna look. We got Bear Grylls, right? I used to love Bear Grylls, right? I used to fucking watch every
I know
episode.
what you're gonna say.
I fucking used to love him.
Yeah.
Watch every episode. I got series fucking every Christmas off me mother, thank God. And sure, I seen videos of him. He's not even real, man.
Yeah.
I was
In
so
a hotel and all that.
So
Yeah,
devastated.
I was heartbroken.
I seen a video there the other day, right? And I was like a little cliff. Should I jump over this cliff right here or just walk down here? Right?
What was Steve
And
Irwin?
no, but then it just zooms out, right? And it's literally there's a bridge.
Right next to the M50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right beside a big fucking
Fuck
road.
off.
Yeah.
That's mayhem.
Yeah.
But
It's like the wrestling. Wrestling's fake, isn't it?
no, it's not.
WWE,
Wrestling's
now
fake.
that's a touchy subject.
That's not
But
fake, man.
I love the way you said that because you know what? Because he's in the game,
He's
so
a wrestler.
No.
He doesn't want to say anything about it.
No,
That's a very
I'm
touchy
going to say it
subject.
straight out. The wrestling that we do, freestyle wrestling and Olympic wrestling that you see in
Yeah,
MMA is real. I'm
Right.
just going to say whoever's listening, you can take it whatever you want. WWE is fake.
Scripted.
But it's scripted. I shouldn't say it's fake because you've heard stories like with wrestlers not like.
Can we go back?
Yeah.
Sorry.
My uncle's 38 and he only found out last year that WWE was fake.
I actually
that the
thought
one that
it was
used to
real.
sunflame?
No, I actually genuinely thought it was real. No joke. I thought wrestling was because you just see blood on their faces. Like the one.
That's real. That's real. Like
That was
they
right,
do
yeah,
they
I'm
hammer each
saying,
other.
yes.
It's scripted, but like they do hammer each other.
They do.
like, 300 days a year.
You don't know the saying. The moves are real. The injuries are real.
Yeah.
Please don't try this at home.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's
So
that's
gets
real,
you,
but
man,
it's just scripted.
It's scripted, but
just
they do
like
try-
just like the Conor McGregor and the Mayweather fight is scripted, but it's
That's
real.
not. That's
No.
real.
No.
Jeez, I had this with them last week, man.
Do you think that's
Please.
scripted?
You know, because it's scripted. Because
I'm not doing this again.
The fight itself?
yeah, the fight itself was scripted, but it's real. The fight was real, but it's scripted.
Yeah.
So it's scripted as in
Yeah,
Mayweather
put them both in
have to
heel
win.
hooks.
No, what do you mean? Like, so you
Because left to real life, Mayweather and Conor in a ring to
What?
battle each other. Conor will battle Mayweather in a way,
Hey.
but professionally, no, really professionally, Mayweather has to win the fight. Paperwork's, believe me, man. Paperwork, boom, boom, boom. But in the ring,
Right.
real
No,
stuff.
I've trained with Conor, right?
Right,
So
let's
obviously
just
from the same team and that. There's no way
Are you
he
mad?
would let someone
Are you
beat
actually
him.
mad?
No way.
There's no.
Not a hope.
Not for diamonds.
There's no way McGregor would let someone
Not
beat him
for
for any
diamonds,
money.
man. I'm telling you now.
That's exactly so.
If he lost, he lost because
Right, listen to this. So was the Logan Paul and fucking what's his face
Ben Askren.
Mayweather scripted as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if anyone should argue with me on this one, and I'm actually gonna put money on this. That
That's
was
scripted.
so scripted. That's what I'm telling
No,
you.
the only part I will kind of agree that there's no winner. That was a lot of bollocks.
Yeah.
The only way you
Yeah,
could
because
win
it was an
not-
exhibition.
Do you
Yeah,
understand?
exhibition, but in all exhibitions there's no winners.
Yeah, but you know why that was? It was like saying like they probably couldn't get an athletic commission
That's the
to
thing.
sign them off
They
and
go
say
with
this is a
it, yeah.
professional fight.
That's
you know
why.
what I mean?
That's the exact reason. There's no other reason why. There's
Yeah.
no backstory. Look, I'm gonna throw you a little brown envelope. I'm gonna win. There's none of that. That fight.
Let me tell you something about Mayweather. You guys don't understand. Mayweather is a rich athlete.
Yeah.
Now he knows how to make money. He doesn't. Now Mayweather's got to a stage where like I wouldn't fight anyone in box because I'm Mayweather now.
put across-
Now listen, he had to fight. Now Mayweather's now like that kind of stage where he fights big names now. He's put himself to that like, okay, Conor
Prize
McGregor
fighter.
is buzzing.
Oh.
Let me fight Conor. Okay, bam. Logan Paul is buzzing. The next is not a money. He's kind of Mayweather's put himself to a
Now we're
celebrity
thinking
fighter
knocking
now.
out.
He's not a normal fighter anymore.
But
I
it's,
don't-
it's not an
I don't
MMA
see
fight.
him-
It's a
It's exhibitions and stuff like that. He's
Prize
like right,
fighting.
I might as well just prize fighting.
Do you understand?
prize fight.
Prize fight.
It's so it
But but Mayweather spends a lot as well.
But can I tell you
You
something?
know, he spends he makes a lot, but he spends a lot. doesn't
Yeah.
he?
But
You know.
Mayweather, you have to think.
You just said the answer.
Mayweather
He's
is down as the best. He's going down as the best boxer of our generation.
Ever.
So he wouldn't give a rat's if he was fighting left, right, or centre. He'd fight any man.
I think Gordon Ramsay.
Now here's the thing,
knocking
right?
out.
Right, this might answer it for
That's
you a little
an
bit,
angry
right? If McGregor and Mayweather fought, like say, different rule sets, so say they fought in the cage with MMA gloves on,
2
and
seconds.
there was the only thing you're allowed to add in was kicks. McGregor would batter.
5 seconds.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm
Now,
saying
if it was a full MMA fight, it's not even competitive. Like the reason McGregor was able to take 7, 8, 9 rounds or something like that was
That's
because like
fair.
they basically just took like say 70% of McGregor's skill set away from him.
Do you
And
understand?
said, now let's fight. But if it was an MMA fight, I'd say a minute done, 2
Gone,
minutes
gone.
stops. Unless he ran
Head
away
kick.
from him.
Head kick.
Yeah, he'd finish him in like a
Do you
minute or two.
understand? But,
Yeah.
Anyway,
But like here's the big thing. I just want to say while we're on it, like I have to say, like I take my hat off to any MMA fighter that like goes into a boxing ring and boxes a
Course.
boxer.
Yeah.
Because they're a specialist. It's like say for example like
Their one skill they train
that's
for
their
their
one
whole
skill.
life.
7 days a week they train boxing, whereas the MMA fighters like say on a Monday morning they're doing jiu-jitsu, that evening then they're doing kickboxing, the next morning they're doing MMA, and then that night they're doing
Well,
wrestling.
Conor used to be a boxer before, so he has.
But
He's only amateur level, man. He
Mayweather's
can't
like an Olympian.
Yeah.
He's an Olympian. You know what I mean? Like McGregor has serious hands and serious power. He's been blessed with serious power in his left hand and that. But like
He was
say,
blessed by Big
but just
Joe Joyce.
but look at Mayweather's family as well. Like his dad and his
His
uncle and all that. Like it was just boxing's in their blood.
Actually, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Because Mayweather is actually a very, very good boxer.
Yeah, he's one of the best ever.
He is
He's
actually.
going down. He's up there
and
with
he's
Muhammad Ali.
fast. He's
He is.
He is actually fast, so he's actually really, really good.
So that's
But-
what I'm saying. He doesn't give a rat's about any money. Obviously he does, but he doesn't give a fuck if he's.
And protecting his record as well
Yeah.
a bit, doing the exhibition fights as well.
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
exactly
He's 15 all,
because
keep that.
Logan was so big. He was, let's say, I'm not gonna say scared,
Yeah.
but because of his legacy, he didn't want to get that one. You know?
And he is, and like
Well,
call a spade,
he might-
he's not in his prime. Like what is he? Is he 40 something? 40?
I think he's 41 now. Is
Yeah,
he?
he was 40 or something last year, wasn't it? But like he's not in his prime, so and he loves boxing. It's in his blood. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all he
yeah,
knows.
yeah.
That's how he makes his money in that.
That's an animal.
He loves what. And
Yeah.
guess who Logan want to fight now? Mike Tyson.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to fight Mike
But
Tyson.
Who wants to fight Tyson?
Logan
Logan.
Paul. But you know what? I
I
will
love Tyson.
I love him.
I grew up watching Tyson.
He's a beast.
I'd like to see Tyson just fight like if he wants
No,
to fight.
I want
fight,
that
fight
Legend
Lennox
League.
Lewis or
Oh, imagine that.
I want
fights.
that Legend League to happen, man. I
yeah,
want-
something like that.
I want that. Like, remember the I don't know if you're into
The
football.
football.
The football. Remember
The
all the
fives.
holes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fives.
yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
lit.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
I used to
good,
love
man.
that on Sky Sports.
Was that the
That
indoor
was
one?
deadly.
The indoor
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I used to
good.
play it on like the old FIFAs. You could play indoor.
Yeah.
Remember that was the best doing it.
And
Yeah.
FIFA Street.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes,
yeah,
people
yeah.
street.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fight you had?
Yeah.
Talking about big fights.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fight you had?
Actually, a cool story about a fight in 2011. It was like, this is a mad story actually, like looking back the way everything's kind of gone. In 2011 there was a show called Celtic Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was in Portlaoise. It was like, I think it was June or something 2011, something like that, maybe March to June 2011. But the main event was McGregor versus Artur Sawinski. It's a famous fight, you'll probably see it. And I was the co-main event. It was me versus another lad called Matthias something. So it was like Ireland versus Poland, and it was like
No
it was
way.
a mad scene. So basically, it was the Heritage Hotel in Portlaoise. So me and McGregor in the same dressing room and that. Like, and I remember he was exactly the way he is now. So just before, I remember like we had to do like a fighters parade. So it was like a Polish kind of organisation.
Yeah, yeah.
So a fighters parade basically is at the beginning. They'd call out like so Conor McGregor, and then you'd walk out, your hands would be wrapped, you'd wave to the crowd, whoever, they play music, and they'd be like Matthias, whoever, you know what I mean, from Poland, and you kind of wave and that. But they didn't say McGregor's name. They didn't say the Notorious.
Snapping.
he was like he'd use it for motivation anyway. He battered your man, but like I just remember being in the dressing rooms and he was just pacing up and down with the gloves on, getting ready before he was walking in. He was like, I'm gonna show them who the notorious is. I'm gonna not say my name, my fucking name.
way.
Blah, blah. So I'm gonna show them who the notorious one is.
Boys, even
and he's
listening
walking
to
up
that,
down.
that gives me. Boys,
Here's another one for you, right?
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
I know.
that sounds
Here's
great.
another good story. Like, say another time we were in a dressing room in Derry. He had a quick knockout or something like that. It was beautiful. We fought the same night. It was a show called Chaos, and it was in like a theatre and
I
that.
heard of that one.
Chaos Fighting Championships in Derry. I fought a lad from Derry at the time. He's a local lad. and that.
Did you beat him?
I beat him. Yeah, I beat him by triangle. But it was a match. It was actually a triangle. Yeah, triangle choke. But he was a Thai boxer, and then I always kind of like favoured grappling that more. But cut long story short, I walked out. They called my name and that, so I was fighting a hometown kind of lad or whatever.
Yeah.
They had my music like dialed down. You could barely hear my music.
Just stop
Right,
with it.
and it was in a theatre. So like, you know the cinemas where you have the seats that go
Yeah,
when you stand up, they fall up. When he walked out, they had smoke and they ramped up the music, and then everyone stood up and all you could hear chairs going boom, 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 you know, from everyone standing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, right, so here we go, you know what I mean?
We're in the now, we're in the trenches now.
Yeah, so we ended up, I think I finished him in the second round it was, but I threw up a triangle, and so a triangle is basically when you wrap your legs around someone's head and you have their arm and that across, right?
Oh yeah.
But he picked me up, and I remember just like he picked me up in the air. And I
What,
remember,
he
like,
picked you up?
He
Well,
picked me
tell
up
you-
to slam me.
If you were able to do that, if you were born a woman, you'd make a fortune.
What is that?
Being able to do that with your legs.
It's not that hard. I'll do it. I'll show you at the end. But he picked me up. He slammed me. He slammed me tighter into the triangle because it's kind of like a common mistake that people do. Like, especially kind of like, you know, when they're starting out, they slam them in it, but he actually slammed me tighter into the choke, and I managed to finish him or whatever. But anyway, so I finished my fight, and McGregor was on later in the card or whatever else. But I remember we were in the same dressing room. And so there's a runner that comes in, and then they're like, right, Conor, you're walking in 5 minutes or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Get your stuff ready, blah blah. So then they came up again. They're like, right, Conor, let's go. We're walking. And he turned around to everyone and he said, see you in 2 minutes, boys. Yeah. Walked out, knocked your man out, and I just came back in. So he always had that confidence from any time I've ever seen him. So it's what you see. It's
That's
real.
that Dublin in him. That's what it is. It's
a
the
bit
Dublin.
that's what-
It's a
yeah.
Dublin.
No, I don't think it's the Dublin in him.
What is
Because
it?
that's not Dublin. Because I'm a big fan. Like, I don't think any of you love Conor McGregor like I do. Actually,
You're looking at the biggest fan here.
Oh, I am the biggest fan of Conor. Like, trust me, I love him to beat.
No, I do.
No, I literally.
No, look
I,
at me.
I'm a big fan.
No, genuinely.
No, my dad kill your dad. My man kill your man.
No, boy man, bat your man.
I love him. I'm a bigger fan.
No,
of
like
him.
I love him
No,
genuinely.
You know what? Fuck him. Oh, listen. Here we go. Anyway.
I know, he loves the most.
No, listen. All I'm just trying to say basically is, I think that motivation that Conor actually has is, he was saying something on his interview, one time. He said the reason why he is the way he is today is because before he started this MMA, he used to play football and all this stuff before.
You know, hey, let's see how big of a fan are you. What was the name of his team?
He was playing for, what team was that team? Is he Pats or something? Pats and Pats. I don't know. I can't.
It was the team he sponsored recently, wasn't it? The young lads.
Yeah, he played for them.
Yeah.
But
Black Forest and Crumlin.
No, but he sponsored a young lads team. He
and he played
Let's
Let's Senior.
Did he actually? I do.
You know what?
Greystone.
I'm going to get this wrong.
Right.
I think it's Yellowstone United.
Oh, that's true. Yellowstone.
Is that the
Really? Is it?
He sponsored.
See, I wasn't.
No, Black
I
Forest
wasn't
you would
really.
think
I
No,
don't.
but he sponsored
And
some,
Lords,
he
Lords
sponsored
Celtic.
some young lads.
Lord Sellers.
yeah.
Yellowstone are down at Lords, aren't they?
They play down that behind the mansion down there at the river.
KCM or something or whatever it's
Mad
called.
club. But look, we're gonna comment section.
Yeah,
tell
but
us.
anyway, Conor McGregor is the way he is because he actually read a book called The Law of Attraction, and he said to himself, he said, since that day he read that book, he said he used to drive to his girlfriend to Leafy Valley car.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
And when he's driving, he used to say, you know what, I'm going to get that space. I'm going to find this space. And he has always said that to himself, and that he took that kind of mindset into MMA.
Yeah, it's
That's
huge, isn't
why.
it? Yeah, no,
And
I
it
mean,
That's
works,
why. Yeah,
I
and
think
he
you
walked.
believe him,
Yeah.
man.
Do you understand? And he walked for him. I'm like, no way.
If you remember that interview, he said, look, if it wasn't there, I'd still go again next time.
Do you understand?
If it wasn't
You
there,
know?
I keep
But,
saying
but see what you're saying, right? You're 100% right. But this is the problem with, say, young lads, right? Say today, some young lads, I sound like an outlet saying this, right? But like, say, they just try visualise. But it's not just visualization,
Hard
it's
work.
visualization and action every single day.
Yeah, do you understand?
That's the hard part. The
Yeah, I
visualization is
know.
just like the primer.
what
You know what I
they
mean?
see as well, though, what you got elaborating on what you said.
Yeah.
They only see end products.
Exactly. They
They
want
don't
the
see the
end of 10
journey.
years.
They don't see the journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They don't see the hard. They
For
don't see
everything.
the injuries.
Yeah.
They don't see the hardship.
Being broke.
Being broke.
Yeah.
etc. There's
Man, well,
loads.
those kind of things. Anyway, yeah.
It's true,
They're
though, isn't it?
right though. Them
Yeah.
things do make it
They
the way
do,
they
they do,
make
they
it break
actually
it.
do.
You probably see it with Instagram, like say, you know, because obviously if you do your thing on Instagram, now you probably
Yeah.
see people that are trying to get to, you know, whatever level on Instagram, like trying to be influencers and that, rather than just kind of. I read actually a thing there. It was actually yesterday. Someone sent on to me some fitness kind of lad. It was like people basically are trying to they're always trying to get followers,
Yeah.
and they're concentrating on the end result rather than the process.
Yeah.
You know, like if you just say for example, if you run a fitness page, you run like a jiu-jitsu page or whatever, just put up good content, and then if it's good enough, you're probably the expert in this, so you know more than me. But but concentrate on putting up good content, and then
And what we
as a
always
result,
say-
you'll get following and then
Yeah,
more
do you
opportunities
understand?
and everything
And that's
else.
what me
You
and
know-
Dara say all the time. Authenticity sells.
It
So
does.
Be yourself.
I think it does. It
People
does.
out there, be yourself and be
It does.
real, man. Don't be fake.
Yeah.
I
Be
remember.
real,
I
man.
remember. I used to be fake too when I started this social media stuff. I used to be like trying to be something that I knew I wasn't. It wasn't really mine.
Wasn't
It
natural for you.
It wasn't naturally myself because I don't know if you guys ever remember when I used to do it. And though they really.
Yeah,
I knew it
remember.
wasn't. I just love that character because I've watched other comedians play that out, and I'm like, that's really good. I
Yeah,
thought I was
yeah.
gonna.
You thought that was the way.
Yeah.
You thought that sells.
You
At
know
the
that-
time.
yeah, but I thought that said, which kind of did because but I was being fake well. I was good at being
It wasn't
fake.
even being fake. It's,
You're
as you
acting.
said, you're a character.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
understand?
character. It's a different character.
Yeah,
than
you know,
yourself.
but authenticity, like you said, oh my god, if I'd known that a long time ago, wow.
Like there's a
That would
quote,
have been-
and I live by it. It's like especially when it comes to doing stuff in the gym and trying to do up the gym and improve the team. That it's like, be first, and if you can't be first, be different.
Do you understand?
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
that's
be
it.
because like so we
That's
go
a
back
cracker.
to McGregor for a second, right?
a cracker.
How many like so McGregor's McGregor, right? How many lads have you seen try and
I know
impersonate?
exactly what you're
and it's
saying.
cringy. But
is
he's being
cringy.
himself. Do you know what I mean? Whereas there's young lads like that are trying to like okay, like they're trying to fight like him, and that's great. Like learn from lads that are the best in that. But like bring your own personality and your own style to the table
You're
and
not
be yourself.
forced, be different.
You have-
If you're not first, be different. Just what you see now is just kind of what you get. You know, just try to be as
I
honest
think
as I can.
do
And
you mean like in fighting?
No, I mean like what's his niche?
He's a grappler.
No, but what like not a way
Brazilian
McGregor's known
Jiu-Jitsu.
for the
oh,
walk.
yeah. So
What's
what
your-
I'd be known for would be like leg locks,
Oh.
like leg lock submissions. Like
What's your
heel hooks, you know.
favourite? What's your favourite submission?
Well, the one that I'm probably most known for is the inside heel hook. So
Heel
basically,
hooks.
there's an inside heel hook and an outside heel hook. An outside heel hook basically attacks the outside of your leg, so your LCL your
And the
ligament.
ACL.
And it can, if it goes bad, it can blow your ACL as well. But an inside heel hook will attack your MCL, depending, and possibly your ACL. But or inside heel hook basically just does way more damage.
So you're a modern day Kurt Angle.
Well, I've never been told that, but yeah.
He's the modern day Kurt Angle.
That's the reason why normal people should not fight like you guys. Because see the way you just described that, you said an MMC. Like I never knew fight is a word for it. Like if you're fighting, so, like do you understand?
No,
There's
but
technical.
because you don't really do sports, that's kind of why we know what ACL
You know from
is
football
and
and
LCL
No,
is.
you don't know what. It wasn't it? Do you actually know what I
He
said?
only did his LCL.
LCL.
Yeah,
How would you do it? Football?
football.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
went
what-
down.
that's
No
how we know it from football
way.
English, bro.
That is so cool. Like imagine just having someone a head look. I'm like, man, that's my ACL on you, motherfucker. I'm gonna squeeze the touch my ACL, bitch. You know, that's actually so cool.
Well, that's what we basically do. As like say, when you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and that, it's like you're basically trying to break someone's joint until they tap or put them asleep.
Whoa.
By basically
Whoa.
basically removing them of their consciousness by either like stopping the blood flow going to their brain or the oxygen or both.
No way. I
Yeah,
didn't
there's
like,
different types of chokes. There's thousands of chokes, but each choke would probably
Have a
fall
different
under.
variant.
No, they fall under two different categories: blood chokes, air chokes, and then some would be like a mix of both as well.
And did they pass out when they
Pass out, yeah.
And they can wake back up.
Yeah.
I'll give you a
Wake
story,
back
mate.
up.
I was choked,
Yeah.
right? I remember it was a Paddy's Day. I don't know, I think it was about 15 or 16. We were in town outside Central Bank, and one of the lads are we were all messing, like, so, choking each other, right? But I said, hey, mate, you won't choke me, you won't put me asleep, right? So old Tucker got behind me, rear naked choke, standing, boom, we passed
Ow.
out, hit the ground, don't remember that.
No way.
Go to sleep, night, gone.
Yeah, within like
It was
Man.
if anyone's good that's putting it on within I'd say
Seconds.
6 to 10 seconds you're out cold.
Do you remember that old people used to do years ago? The American Dream.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
When they did that? Yeah.
You used to like
You
push
used
you
to
up
rub
against
something
the,
or something.
And then push
Rub
your
your
chest
back
or
or
push your
something.
chest and then push
And
you
you
against
keep
the wall.
breathing in, you can't get any more air.
Remember
It's
that?
going in, pushing in on your diaphragm or your chest or
Yeah,
something.
We'll actually get a
Yes.
video and we put that up on the story.
I am
you know?
not doing that.
Yeah, the American
Nobody's
dream
pushing
is
up on
going,
his
yeah.
chest.
No,
Nah.
remember that one
No,
time?
man.
I remember like the guards now were trying to put up stuff to say, oh,
Don't
people
be
need to
doing
stop
that.
doing this and all.
Yeah, that was mad.
That is crazy, man. Why
I'm
you
sorry
wanna-
for the people who did that.
Why
But
you-
here, what did they used to call you in school?
Which one?
Flip flop Dave
Oh,
or
the
something?
backflip Dave.
Did he?
Yeah,
Backflip Dave.
because I used to do backflip in school and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it's-
you told me a different story, you fucking
yeah, no,
liar.
backflip Dave. Backflip
He
Dave.
said, oh, you fucking battered someone at school for and they called me flip flop
You're
Dave
getting
or
called
something.
him.
No. Oh,
Shut his
see,
mouth.
you see, he wasn't even listening to me. He wasn't even listening to me properly. I was because I was saying because we were in Greystones today, and the little girl was getting picked on because she had a Bluetooth speaker on her hands and she was playing this kind of cool music, and all there was other group of people to the other side like, shut up, turn your short music off.
That's terrible.
And I felt like, you know, she was just there having a great time.
Kids are mean,
I
aren't
felt like she was being
The way he
bullied.
says it.
Yeah,
And I felt like she
and
was
it is
being
bullying. It's bullying in
It is
a different way.
yeah, I feel like she
yeah.
was being. So I was saying to him today, I said, you know what, I don't like bullies because
Yeah.
I was bullied in
Yeah,
school as
yeah.
well because I was the only black guy in my class. And some, you know, I was in school, right? It was just a pen like this. I sit in front, the only black in class, and like, not just like imagine Davis is behind me. I'm not saying you're a bully or anything like that. You probably are, but listen. So they put like paper, little paper, and put it in
Yeah, the spitballs in the
Yeah.
straw.
and the guy's like literally on my head. First time I looked back. I was like, who did it? And they're like, I didn't do nothing. And I was just there waiting, and I was literally watching the teacher go, and your man did it again. But this time around, the thing went literally on my lips, and I could feel the little wet paper.
stop,
Like,
man.
Imagine what happened now with COVID and everything.
I swear, and I looked back at the guy, and I looked back at my English wasn't great. My English wasn't great back then. I looked back at it. I say, hey, if you have a problem, tell me. Your man was like, who do you think you're talking to? And I said, look, if you have a problem, tell me. And he was like, oh, we're gonna fight, blah blah. And to me, I don't even know what's
Where
going
was
on.
this? What town?
In Kavanagh Community College, really.
They give them a shout out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him a shout out. So
Scrap school.
we came outside, and I literally my first time ever fighting, you know. We came outside, and because I was very nervous, I don't know what's going on, I literally ran towards him, grabbed him by the leg, and I just slammed him on the floor.
No way.
And this guy
Nice
was
one.
sleeping. He was
Nice
literally all I just heard
I
was
thought he said he was going to do a backflip.
no, all I just heard it was just sleeping on the floor.
You doing a backflip
And
to celebrate?
Since then they call me in school because I do backflip.
I bet
as
you're
well.
never bullied again.
No, I didn't bully again. Your man lied on the floor like that. Like this.
Did he have a pillow with him?
I looked back at everybody. I was like, yeah, to me. I don't know what happened. And literally because of the hype, I just did a backflip.
No way! Oh, unreal.
This is something that I'll never forget. I did a backflip straight away.
No
Just because
way.
I was like, yeah. I did it.
Just the adrenaline.
How'd you do a backflip?
I used to do backflip before. I just stopped.
Backflip Dave.
If you go on YouTube, I used to do a lot of backflip.
Alright, you
So
do one
then,
after the podcast.
people called me Blackflip Dave. They didn't not
Blackflip
Blackflip.
Dave.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying to you.
That's so rare.
That's what I'm saying to you.
funny.
Since then, they start calling me the Black Flip Dave. I don't know.
Did you do gymnastics or something as a
I
kid?
do. I was a great gym.
Yeah?
I do parkour. Really crazy.
Class.
If
You
go,
did parkour?
yeah, go on
Oh,
YouTube,
man, I love
right? Go
parkour.
into my type
Parkour.
Fabu D doing backflip.
extreme
I used to do like
stunts.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then last I flipped. But I just kind of, I don't know. I hurt my shoulder, and since then I just kind of like I just stopped doing it.
Was it from gymnastics or just?
It was from gymnastics. Actually, I remember I was doing the basketball court. I ran to the wall and just 1, 2, 3. And the third step, I think I forgot to do the third step, but I just kind of went.
Oh, you skipped went to 4, did you?
Yeah, so I was meant to do 1, 2, 3, then throw back. So I did 1, 2, but I don't know why I didn't do the 3. So I just went back and I knew while I was in the air,
Yeah, you're done.
this wasn't good.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
man, it was crazy, man. That's what's gonna. That brings me to the question I was about to ask you. See the way you do MMA fighting.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you're in the ring? Do you like black out or you just like I don't know because it's a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
I
know
don't
what
know.
it is? It's like regardless of what you do, whether it's MMA or it's jiu-jitsu or it's playing football or anything like that, whether
Yeah.
it's playing music or whatever it might be, like you've put in probably like if you're good at it, you probably put in like over 10,000 hours,
Yeah.
and then like it basically becomes automatic. Have you heard some people say practice makes perfect, and then there's like practice makes automatic. And perfect practice makes perfect. You know this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But basically, any of those lads that are like say fighting, saying you know the UFC at a higher level or something like that, a lot of them are just on autopilot. and they're just like in you know that flow state.
Yeah.
You know the flow
Like
state.
when you're
like,
driving your car.
You're driving, you're
and
like,
you don't
"Jeez,
even
we're
know
here
how you got
already."
there.
It's like that.
No way.
Yeah, 'cause
here.
there's a famous quote by famous jiu-jitsu. He was like one of the best, or jiu-jitsu kind of like athlete. Like he was like, do you ever hear the Gracies?
No.
Gracies, yeah.
The Gracies are
Of course
basically
they
the
did.
Brazilians that brought the
He
sport
was
where
the
the
first-
UFC are where they are
First fight,
because
wasn't it? He was the first champion, wasn't he?
Heist Gracie was the first
his
champion.
white
but
suit, in his white-
Hickson in his white gi, yeah, that's
Gi.
what they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gi,
Or
yeah.
White
more.
gi.
Yeah.
Ghee is butter in Australia.
No way.
That's the name of
and
the
it's
water.
and it's supported in India. But
But,
you're
but basically, Hickson Gracie's like he was meant to be like one of the best ever, right? He's a pioneer of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a little. I think it was him or Carlos Gracie. One of the Gracies said basically, if you think you're late. Does that make sense? So if you have to think in jiu-jitsu or you have to think in boxing or combat, just by the time you
Split
talk,
seconds.
the other person isn't thinking, and then you're done.
Jab.
I get what
It's
you mean, man.
it's something that just you're
So basically, you're just working on your subconscious mind. So it's something you've learned
exactly.
a lot.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah. Now there is
What is
like
going on with it?
it's most of it is subconscious, but there is like say conscious, as in like just say for example if you're in an MMA fight or something like that, and someone's kicking the leg off, you're like,
Right.
all right, I need to change my stance. I need to
Yeah,
start moving or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
a lot of it then is just automatic, you know, and it's the same with good football players and everything, isn't it? You're just like
You get
That
you
is
drill it
so
into you, so
cool.
you drill it
It's-
into you, so
Yeah.
you just bomb.
exactly
You
what
know
he
you're
said.
doing.
That's why the army and like the arm response and that like or like drill. Like I like to do like long range shooting as a hobby. So like last week I was
As in
down.
snipers.
Yeah, well, I'm not like to that level, but like doing like 100, 200, 300 yard shots
Oh,
and that
so
type of
it's
stuff.
interesting,
I actually bought a new gun. I'm waiting on it. It's a
Yeah.
deadly one. It's a tactical kind of rifle, and it's unreal.
No
Oh,
way.
yeah.
It's unreal. It shoots like accurate up to like 1,000 yards or 1,200 yards. So the gun club that I'm in is about 10 minutes away from my house, but it's class. They have like spots for
Deadly.
handguns, and the snipers actually train down there. And last week I pulled in, and the arm response were there. And there was like say 5 or 6 of them with M16s, and they were doing like say
Wow.
like doing drills. But the point of the story is like soldiers, cops, and all that type of stuff. They just drill and drill and drill. And when they go to war or they're in weird situations, they've no time to think. Because if you start to think about all the mad stuff that's going on, you're probably going to panic. Whereas if it's
Freeze, you'll
drilled
freeze.
into you, you just work. So you're like, right, that's your job. You're going left. Your job's right, and so on.
That
I mean, it's the
is-
same with martial arts.
I don't think I
Conscious.
can do that, man. 'Cause
Subconscious.
I live life that I can't. I have to think.
Yeah,
So if I'm a fighter, I'll be more the type of kind of fighter I will be more of that kind of fighter whereby if you're fighting, I'm going to run around the ring just to think. Just like that. I'm just like, no, I don't know. Do you
Let me think
understand?
for a second.
Like I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to
yeah.
say it. I'm just gonna be like. Okay, so am I gonna fuck this motherfucker up real quick? Then I get it and I do it again. I don't know. I think that's the kind of fighter I will be. I'm just gonna be like, man, I'm gonna take a break to think. Come back.
give me a minute.
And if your mind is running after me, I'm gonna like run. I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't know.
No,
because
it's like I get that. Like there's a saying in jiu-jitsu and in MMA and that's like drillers make killers.
yeah, do you
Like
understand?
drill. Like so, I would do a lot of drilling. Like say for
No
example,
way.
yeah. Like so, we do a warm up in class. We drill like say 2 or 3 techniques. But it's like my lads are like I try to get my lads sick of techniques. I want them to.
Would you get your lads to be sick at one technique, or would you spend time on doing like say 5 different techniques and like spend more time?
I try with my lads at the moment. I kind of have a new way of doing it. Well, not even a new way. But just I suppose like I've been coaching a long time, so I've kind of figured out my own way that kind of works and what works good for them. Like I'd spend a certain amount of time on a certain position, but I'd spice it up with kind of
Different
new
variations.
details and different variations. Then I'd kind of leave it to the side, and I might put it into the warm up. So they're getting reps in, and then I kind of start on some other stuff that I want them to get. And then what I do is I'd come in the next day and I might say, right lads, we're going to start in this position, let's go. And then I get like a real kind of honest look at like, right, what is the level? How do people know?
Yeah.
Like say if I'm working escapes or something like that from different types of chokes, I might go, right, the lads aren't getting it, all right, they're getting this. And then when we've new lads visiting the club and that, I'd put my lads in bad positions, and then I'm like, right, go from there, because we don't know what the new lads' game is, or you know. So then my lads have to react in a different way. So
Right, talk about bad positions, right?
yeah,
What in your eyes the hardest submission to get out of,
the hardest submission to
or
get
the
out
most difficult?
is the rear naked choke. The rear naked, and for simple reason, right? Well, this is in my opinion anyway. Like, if a submission is on and it's on like on tight, it's gonna be very hard to get out of it. But like say with a rear naked choke, there's someone on your back behind you, and their arms, if it's done correctly, their arms are hidden or behind your head. So like it's very hard for you to like.
And is there a way to get out?
There's a way, but like when someone basically has like their arms fully locked up, you know what? I don't want to say there isn't a way. Maybe I haven't found a way that works
For you.
Yeah. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
haven't came across, like, I've been very lucky to train with, like, some good coaches and that around the world, and that. And I've never really seen anyone be able to get out of a fully locked
In a
on
live
rear
match. In a live
against
match.
against if a beginner put me in a rear naked choke and that,
You get out by strength, probably.
yeah, you'd strip the grips if they made a mistake. But if someone's like very good,
Elite.
high level and that, you're not getting out.
No.
If it's on, it's on.
Night time.
That's it. It's night. Yeah, it's night time. And then a lot of time, like good lads, what they'll do is they'll put you into a choke, and this is the way I kind of train my own lads. Put like instead of if you got a
set you
beginner
up in a
to
choke,
choke,
would he?
I say that again.
Setting up to put the choke on.
No, the squeeze of the choke. The squeeze of a choke, the way I try to teach it anyway, should be like nearly like an anaconda. The way an anaconda kills its prey.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as in, right, so
Proper,
like if I got you, say, to put a choke on someone in here, you'd probably go as hard as you can. But the problem with that is you've no time to adjust and you can burn out your arms if it's like incorrect and someone can get a bit of space in that. So the way I try to get the lads to do it is best. You get your choke, you squeeze 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, and you normally get the tap at 40%. So then I'm more efficient with my technique. So let's say,
So
for
you're not
example,
straight away 100%.
I'm not burning out my arms, because a fight or a grappling match or anything like that, it's a scary place when your arms are burnt out.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
if you've not, your arms are
dumping
lead,
all that stuff.
adrenaline dump. So at least then if you're in a position and you're against a top lad, do you know what I mean? You can adjust your position a little bit. You can concentrate on your squeeze, concentrate on your breathing. But that only comes with time and reps. But that's the way I try to train my lads. Is like, don't start from 100, because if I put like say 100% on you and I'm only starting out, you felt my 100. What's after 100? If you're able to
101.
No, 90. Do you know, like say like 90, 80, 70,
true,
60. You're like, this isn't too bad. Whereas if I'm going 10,
You're
20, you don't know my 100.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? As in, but if
You're
I'm
not letting them know what the 100
I'm not showing them my
is.
cards. I'm
Yeah,
keeping my cards close to my chest.
Good, that's a
You
good
know, that's the way I
of
kind of look at it anyway, and that's just probably just from experience. There's
That's
different ways to do
actually
it.
so crazy, man. It's just, I think the way you're describing this, it's just too tense. Like, you just, like I felt like you're fighting me already. I'm like, I felt like you're like, I felt like you were choking me for a second. I'm like, man, let go. But that's crazy. So you just have to, it's just crazy to do things that they have to do. Like just like the fact that you have to like choke someone and focus on your breathing at the same time.
Yeah, you have to be relaxed.
I wouldn't think there's so many different elements to it.
We call it invisible jiu-jitsu. There's stuff. So if you watch a UFC fight and that, right, and say you don't train or you're only kind of starting out or something like that, there's invisible jiu-jitsu.
Like you wouldn't see the setups.
You wouldn't see it, but you'd understand. Like there could be a difference of like his head being here, or like say this grip, this looks. They're not. This doesn't look different, but this could be a world of difference. So like say if I'm doing a rear end choke, instead of grabbing my bicep, so see this little square box here, his head's going to be in this, but as soon as I grab my tricep, now there's less space, so I can cough more air. You know, like the difference with someone making a fist behind your head or slicing through with a bladed hand.
Sounds so vicious, doesn't
Do you
it? Isn't it?
understand?
I can cut off more ear.
I think we need to do more. I think people need to listen to more of you guys talking about fighting, because I don't like to. My understanding with MMA, when I watch MMA, I'm like, people are just killing each other, but these are technical guys in the ring. Who actually
it's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. The art of it is
an art.
now. Actually, honestly, I can now say, you know what? I'm gonna watch MMA differently now. I used to watch MMA. I just two men killing but now I'm watching two men technically, literally having a fight. Man,
so
here's a question.
I'll tell you what I do, right? When I watch MMA, I'd watch I'd watch the UFC as a fan, like say first. So I'd watch the show, I enjoy it. The next day I watch, like say if I want to watch certain fights or certain matches to not get influenced by a commentator that might be biased, I put on silent, on mute, and then I study it from that point of view for my lads.
Cool,
I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to know who's like, because like the commentator can kind of persuade who you think's winning.
They look better.
Then you watch it back and you're like, hold on a minute, he was actually doing a lot better than what he thought.
It's actually so true. I do that a lot, especially when I'm watching, like, I know it's different entire story. When I'm watching a movie sometimes, right? I like to watch, sometimes I watch the movie on mute. I would tell the reason why. Because I'm not really. I know. Freakish. No, really. No, freakish. The reason why is because when you watch some drama on mute, you watch the person's reaction, the little sly move. It's like when you're stoned, you're very observant. You know, when you're high, you just do nothing but observe what's going on.
That's like watching, like say, MMA or jiu-jitsu, like say on you. You're looking at the movement.
Do you understand?
Rather than being biased to the crowd.
With the sound, you just see the guy just.
You love that film, A Quiet Place.
Do you understand? Really, I've never watched it. Is that a movie?
Great film.
What'd you say?
A Quiet Place.
No
what
way.
a movie. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's this film.
Watch
Right?
it.
There's these monsters and they're fucking mad sensitive to noise, so everyone has to go around and fucking be mad quiet.
But the reason why.
Oh, I think I've watched.
But it's freaky because the
the
whole
door-
film is silent, and then when the monsters come out, you get free because
Just
you
on
have to
the
been
door.
sitting there in silence for
Yeah.
10 minutes
you
watching something.
barely
I
see
need
the
to look
monsters though. You barely see them till near the end.
That's better though, doing it like that. Because
Yeah,
like the
but-
show, it's not scary.
But the reason why they're
Leave to the end.
silent as well because the door is deaf.
Yeah, and the doors.
No,
No,
Spoiler alert. Do a spoiler alert.
No, don't, because I need to watch it.
no, that's not the reason why they're
No.
silent.
Oh no, but I wanted to, because they have supersonic hearing. The aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I need to watch it. Why
It's
you
good.
why
And
you
the second
spoil
one
it?
is just
I love
as good as the
spoiling
first one
movies,
as
I
I
watch
well.
love
spoiler
spoiling now because I need to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Right?
You're not
It's on
gonna watch it,
Netflix.
isn't
It's
it?
on
I have to
Netflix.
say though, I'd
It
love to
is.
be in his wardrobe when he has the telly mute, just start talking.
He's over there watching how the little kid moves on the jacks.
I swear to God, because I'm gonna watching that shit stone. I'm gonna be there like,
Yeah, and there's me in the bank fucking watching Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, fuck you, you stupid bitch. He'd be like, what the fuck, why is Winnie the Pooh saying that?
oh man, that's
Question,
crazy,
right?
man.
Question for you, Kieran, right? Do you think BJJ would be efficient in a street fight?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because like say,
Am I?
right, I'm gonna explain something. Right, there's sport,
Yeah.
and then there's the martial art. Right, so when we get ready for a competition, right, obviously like you're trying to be like another skilled black belt.
Right.
So it's like the two, you can kind of cancel each other out. So there's different certain positions and that type you do, right?
Yeah.
So you see some stuff like where lads are like literally butt scooting on the floor and that. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like actually trying to wrestle and take someone down. So they're thinking sport and they're thinking about I'm going to try submit this killer, or I'm going to try win on points or whatever.
Yeah.
In the street, you're not going to be going around scooting on your butt.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You're gonna clinch with basically. If you're an untrained person, right, and you end up grappling with someone that like has been training for a few years, say even 2 years, 3 years, and even 10 years gets worse, you're basically grappling with a gorilla. That's what I mean. Like you don't even understand. Like people that don't fight and have never felt it before don't understand like how bad it would be. It's like you like the person that you're fighting literally understands all the different
All your
positions on the
moves that you're gonna
ground.
try
You don't
to
have a clue. You
Yeah.
think that like I've heard so much mad stuff when I've been out over the years, and like people have said to me, can't do jiu-jitsu, can't do MMA because if I got ticked, that'd be it. I'd see red, that'd be it. If you see red, you're dead. Because the other person isn't seeing red.
you have to think.
He's going back to the breathing thing and he's relaxing. He's putting 10,000 hours and that
exactly.
type of stuff. So yeah, jiu-jitsu is probably the best thing like for self-defense in the street, and I'll tell you for a couple of different reasons, right? One of the main reasons is like if you're not hitting someone, so you're not leaving
So you're
marks or
not-
anything like
and you're
that.
not
So you're
holding your
dealing,
fists.
you're not hurting your fist or anything like that. Like a lot of people have like an unrealistic, like I don't know, an unrealistic like kind of image of
On
how well
street
they
fight.
do in a street fight.
Yeah.
And any person I've ever seen fight that's never done any type of martial art watching training,
Windmills.
it's terrible. It's awful. I don't understand. Actually, I do understand why people like have a different kind of like
Ego.
view. No, it's just people watch too many movies. And they're like,
Yeah.
if shit goes
Actually,
down,
in the
I do. I'll let you. It's just
people are like, if shit goes down, if I go mad, no one's gonna stop me.
I'll run up this wall here and I'll tell you
Like,
that.
boys,
elbow this
like
fella.
I'll tell you a mad story, right? Say years ago, I was in a place. I'll be straight with you. I was in a gym. I had a gym in a different location. Say years ago, it was like 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was a lad that was training in the gym, and he was up to a bit of bother or whatever else. And cut a long story short, we were doing an MMA session on a Thursday night, and some lad walked in with a balaclava and a sawn-off shotgun.
Fuck off.
And yeah, swear to God, it was all over the news and all that, right? This is the old gym that we had and everything else, like 10 years ago and that. And literally, like your man turned around and he pointed the gun like in the room, that in the middle of me coaching an MMA session, and I just seen the gun, and like you
Shit,
think
the
but you think in your head that I'd just jump. No, you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean?
But it's gone off, that's spraying everywhere.
But you know the way you hear people and
Yeah,
they're like,
of course,
and they've
yeah.
never like, what gives you the confidence to think that if you're in a situation when someone pulls a knife on you or a gun on you, or you're in a street fight, that you're going to react in a certain way? The only way you're going to do that is by putting in like a gun's different
Training,
now.
yeah.
Training, 10,000
yeah.
hours. You know what I mean? Any good martial artist and that'll say, if someone pulls a knife on you, get out there. You know what I mean?
Good
Get
luck.
out there. Don't try to fight someone with a knife. Do you know what I mean? If it comes that you're in a room this small and then like you're going to be stabbed, well then obviously like you're going to have to try to do
Fuck
something.
the table at him.
But,
Fire
but
running
people have an
around like a
unrealistic
lunatic.
like opinion of how well they do in a
That's
street
just
fight.
because they're bleeding mouthpieces and
Well,
I think it's just
Running around
movies
like a
and
headless
social
chicken.
media and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Influenced by mad shit.
no. I think if
Goes back to the drilling thing.
someone pull out a knife on me, I would suck his dick. I'm just like, look.
I have a knife here.
Because I don't want to die. I'm
For
like,
the second time.
Look, trust me.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I don't care. Like, what are you gonna do? It's all for you gonna fight someone with a
As I
knife.
said, I'm gone. Good luck.
Yeah,
I'm Usain Bolt out there.
That's,
Gareth Bale, good luck.
that's the best self-defense. If someone ever pulls a knife, get out of there.
No, because I
That's
think
the-
Get out of there. Don't even fight it. Don't
That's
even
I think that's the good thing about MMA, martial art, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is. It gives you guys a lot of discipline. So much discipline. Like, you know, what is the difference between you and me? You're well professionally trained. You probably go outside and something will happen and maybe someone annoy you so bad, but you can look at that person and be like, you know what? You know what, my time, and you walk
100%.
away. And me, I've never fight in my life. And someone will say that, I'm like, who do you think you're talking to? I will literally blow you. I will ram you down, I will. But it's true, because it's just...
If someone puts a knife up your back, you go like that straight away.
Like, I've seen it.
Man, it's crazy, man.
People do that are untrained. A lot of people like say that get into fights and cause hassle and that type of stuff. They peacock. So there's peacocking. They're spreading their wethers or their what's it called? Feathers. Sorry, feathers. Like as in like I'm getting angry. But as soon as someone that's trained that stands up to them, that peacock like brings the feathers back in and relaxes. Like, I was only I didn't mean to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But they try peacock first. You know what I mean? But people that train in that, like they have a realistic opinion of like their abilities, and like they try kill each other every day and train and that type of stuff. But two things will happen if you're in a fight and you're a trained fighter. Either one, he's going to the hospital, or two, you're going to jail. That's it. There's no good outcome. Like, it's different if you're there with your family and something happens, you have to protect your family and that. You're the king of your castle, you have to do that type of stuff. But you're going to prison or he's going to hospital or both. That's it. With someone that's untrained.
And there's 3 hits.
You know.
Man.
You hitting them hitting the floor, and the ambulance hitting them.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I just never do well when it comes to.
Look, you don't have to fight.
One other question, right? I don't know. This maybe is just me, right? I don't know. Maybe everybody else see this, right? Why is it that all MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters, you guys, your ears are just kind of like swollen?
Cauliflower.
This one's a little bit bad, but it's not.
Yeah.
Too
It's
bad.
from grappling, man.
It's like rugby players get as well. It's like just like you keep banging your ear, especially.
So
It's like
Bulls vessels or something, aren't they? Or something.
like calluses or something like that. Yeah. So it's basically just
Cauliflower.
Man, I see all this, and when I see all those MMA fighters like Conor McGregor, Khabib,
I drain some of the young lads' ears out because, like, say, like it's just something that I've done for years and that. Like, you just get a needle off a nurse or something, stick it into their ear, you pull a couple of bits of blood. It's not that sore. It's a little prick.
There's actually some. Sorry, cut across it. There's actually some people that get water bottles, and do it to their ears because they want that.
They want that.
They want that.
Really?
They want to look like fighters.
Yeah.
I have a good friend. He
no way.
Yeah, we got down that hole.
He actually suits you for some reason. I don't know why.
Mine aren't that bad. Mine are fairly like.
You see Connor's now.
mellow.
You see you're watching his interviews lately. You see his interviews lately. You see how bad his ears are going now.
He's cauliflower ears, well,
He's
isn't he?
bad cauliflower ears now.
Wow.
I have a friend and like he fights professional MMA. He fights for Bellator and that. Charlie Ward, his name is. He trains with me.
Yeah,
do you know him?
Yeah, but I don't know him personally. But
yeah, he's good friends with me, and we train together and that and whatever. And he's 100%. He trains in Tullamore and he trains in Dublin as well. But his ears are like spuds. He probably won't mind me. He probably
Imagine
listens to
having
this,
a spoons
but-
here.
I'm saying it, but like
Mr.
he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, say for years he would never drain his ears. Now his ears are like weapons. So if he gets certain lads in position, he's using it like a rock attached to his ear. Grinding his ear off you. He doesn't give a shit. Like, but
Like, are you hearing me?
Oh my god.
But he looks the part anyway because he's he's a tank and he's the big cauliflower ears and tattoo up to his neck. And
Sure, yeah, we were talking before the podcast now about telling him we had Dean Perry on, the UFC lad. We were saying he hasn't got a break yet, hasn't he? With the injuries and all. Such a nice guy though. Hasn't got a break. And he signed.
That last Wonder Boy style, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, Wonder Boy style, real karate stance and all stuff like that.
Does Superman punch, doesn't he?
What else Superman punch? Yeah,
Loves the Superman punch.
he does. What are you getting at there? What are you smiling?
No,
Is
like, he
that
actually
being
does.
sexy or something? Sex? What's that called?
No, but doesn't he actually like Superman
He
punch?
does like that.
GSP was like probably the most famous example of that. GSP used to do like a Superman punch. Remember GSP, George St. Pierre? Yeah.
George,
He used to do like
Yeah,
Superman
boom,
punch,
boom,
low leg
boom,
kick.
That's where that came from. You little.
Yeah,
from him.
GSP, wasn't it?
Yeah. Chocolate Dale, remember him? Do you remember Chocolate Dale?
No.
Yeah, he was unreal. The Iceman.
Overhand right.
Yeah.
Do you remember Rey Mysterio?
Of course I remember.
Yes.
I actually wanted to go. I'm going to say your thing. Going back to when we were talking about the wrestlers and all. I was going to say, remember I don't know if it was called the Bad Boy era. Am I right by saying this? But in the 90s, that was fucking real. They used to Mick Foley, Mick Foley and all the boys jumping on nails and all, fucking Jeff Hardy and all.
Jeff Hardy wasn't real.
So him doing them fucking Swanton bombs off the fucking top of the cage.
That's real. Though.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
real. That's
real.
not fucking
The
CGI.
fight, I think the thing that people get mistaken is the fight isn't real.
The outcome of the wins
yeah.
are fake.
But boys
The
get broke
moves.
up, concussions and everything.
Oh man, broken
Yeah.
bones.
It's
How
like
Bret Hart and all.
200 and something days a year on tour, don't they? Like
Yeah.
flat out, just breaking themselves
Old
up.
Shane, what was old Shane?
What was
Torn
that?
ligaments and everything, and just necks jacked and.
What was that ladder game called again?
TLC match. Table ladder chairs.
No, remember the one the ladder used to have to go
For the
the
belt.
money box.
Money in the
Money in the bank.
That was deadly.
Yeah. I used to go up that Jeff in the game. Jeff Hardy, Swanton bomb up. Yeah. He's my favourite. He was. But look, we're going down that tangent there, right? We go back, right?
I think the real fight was Kimbo's lies.
Ah, Kimbo's like.
R.I.P.
Kimbo's lies.
Kimbo.
Man, I used to
Yeah,
watch him
legend.
in school on YouTube, man.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
back, the
He
what were
was
they called?
real
I
bare
love
knuckle,
Kimbo.
man.
What were they called?
Masvidal was kind of like the
He
same.
was, he was on that.
Yeah.
Masvidal fought Kimbo's like prodigy.
His friend, yeah.
And he
That's
went up and he
me.
beat him, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Kimbo was like a man that was fighting out the back gardens.
Yeah.
No, but what was that called?
Fella was a
He
beast.
was just fighting people bare knuckle on YouTube for no reason. I'm like, what?
For no reason.
Like I don't understand where there was for
Yeah,
because normally all the boys after lunch we just go on YouTube and watch this guy. There's always new match every day, and man, it's just a man. I mean, the people who do fight they're beasts. You see
Kimbo
this
was
guy,
a
yeah.
tank.
You just see dreadlocks and just boom, and the guy
They
was
fight for like half an hour, 40 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
Like
Do you
so
remember the fight where he fought against, he lost against the cop?
Was it in the school hall?
It was in a school
Yeah.
hall.
Yeah.
They were going through bleeding plaster
Yes.
ball war.
that was the most famous fight because at least somebody bet him, man. I was like, what the hell? Because as I
he
know,
was like a superhero.
he
wasn't
was just
Yeah,
invisible.
everyone loved him, didn't
man.
they? And he actually fought in the UFC.
Fought
And he
in
was
the-
shit when he got 2 years.
He wasn't
See,
shit.
that,
He
it goes
was-
back. It
he
goes
was.
back to the thing we're on about. Like he was a specialist
Yeah,
in like
in
say,
one fighting stand
fighting,
up.
you know, hands only. And then
Yeah.
like you're throwing in with someone
Wrestlers.
that's like, I'm not going to stand with you. I'm going to take you down, or I'm going to kick the legs off you, or I'm going to put you up against
Yeah.
the fence.
Yeah.
That's the beauty about MMA. There's
That's
so many different
true.
ways to win and so many different ways to lose.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
different aspects.
But what I want to know is, right, now that we were saying earlier about McGregor and all playing football, do you have any other hobbies?
Me,
Or
yeah.
what you
You
do?
said
I do a good
shooting.
bit. Yeah, I do. Like I do a lot of stuff. Like I just love training and love like say
Keeping
just
active.
keeping active. Like
Yeah,
I
but like,
do.
do you have any hidden talents? Like,
I do rock climbing, I do surfing, I do like fucking like mountain, you know, MTB or the
Yeah,
MTB
mountain
kind of mountain biking.
We were into mountain biking there up in the
Yeah.
Gap.
Then
Shout out
then
the
you go
Gap.
down where I live, like 10 minutes away from my house, the Sleep Blue Mountains.
that's some adrenaline, isn't it?
Isn't
Going
it?
down them
Up in-
I've had friends that got like broke up off of.
So we have a little bike.
man.
We have a
Bad.
WhatsApp group, little biking group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the boys, there's like little tracks called. That's Willie's track. That's where he broke his arm.
Yeah,
That's Mickey's
yeah,
track.
yeah.
That's where track. That's where he broke his fingers.
Remember Foxy got knocked out? I have a
I
video
can't-
of him and he falls off the bike and you
So
can
we were
just see
doing-
his head behind the rock like that and I'm zooming in on his head.
So we were hitting the jumps and all. Hitting.
And then everyone was standing there laughing and someone just
I
goes,
can't believe
"Oh,
that, man."
help him.
Imagine that's this generation we live in, man. Somebody's just knocked down. You see him just zooming
No,
out.
we were going live, so we were all taking shots at hitting this jump. We went live, and then Foxy just imagine they hit the ground. But there's this place. Have you ever been up to the Gap up in
No,
Glencullen?
no.
So there's a yoke called the Widowmaker. I'm gonna say, yeah, I jump. This thing is like a gorge. And my second time being up there, the first time doing the jump, I says, "How are you doing? Not a bother." I was like ET up in the sky. Oh God, I did jump. Good.
That was a big old jump.
Was that like a mountain bike?
On the mountain bike,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But you come off it when you landed,
The second,
didn't you?
no, the,
Oh,
that
no,
one,
did he
yeah.
actually?
The second, no, but it was good landing. Second
Oh.
time, bomb, not a bother to me. Shout out Glencullen.
Man,
I
imagine
did
that.
like a good bit of football and that when I was younger. Played
Yeah.
like football
Did
at a
you
decent
play-
level, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tullamore, so what division
No,
was that?
I grew up in England till I was like.
Did you, yeah?
Yeah, well, I was born in Limerick, and then my parents went over to England, like say when I was about 1 or 2. We moved to London, and then I played football over in London till I was about 12.
Any names of teams?
I played for some local teams, and then when I came back to Ireland, I had like trials for Watford, and then I was on like the Irish development squad and that type
Okay.
of stuff. And then I turned 17 and went over to England, played a bit of football, and then just
Nice.
kind of like I was at that age where.
Get the pick.
No, I was at the age where like I found kind of like drink and partying, and I was 17, 18.
Sex and drugs and making bitches.
You know the crack yourself. And then like
Anyways,
because you all know, but all your friends are doing things
Course,
in
yeah.
town, and you're
Yeah,
over in
yeah,
London
yeah.
doing your thing or whatever. And then I was like, you know, because you never experienced it before. And then,
No.
but I think it was the best thing that like that happened to me, because then it got me back into martial arts. Like I started
Yeah.
martial arts when I was 7 years of age in London, started boxing and karate and that type of stuff, and then I was at it for a good bit over there, and then came home and kind of did what I did and that, and then I went back to it then, like say my late teens I went back to boxing and that type of stuff, and then did a bit of kickboxing and then fell in love with MMA, and then just eventually fell in love with jiu-jitsu and now coaching and competing and that as well, so I was always into sports. Well, even like, I don't know if you know this or whatever, but even like a few years ago, like myself and my family were on, Ireland's Fittest Family. We were on it 3 years in a row. Yeah, we were Davern family.
Your face looks familiar. I swear to God.
We were on it 3 years in a row. We were on the first episode with Kenneth Egan. We were on it with, we had Anna Geary as a coach, and we had Davy Fitz as a coach.
With my family.
My sister was on
got to the final 3 years in a row.
at the top of the
No, not the Aviva, Crow Park.
Wasn't it? The Aviva, it was only built.
Yeah, that's right, they did it there,
She
didn't
was
they?
supposed to abseil down and she cried on the top of it, so she
It
took her down.
wasn't Crow Park.
No, the Aviva, it was only built.
On the Den or something, or RT was.
It was the Aviva, it was only built.
We did some mad stuff on it.
I remember it.
We did some mad stuff on it. Like, they just dropped us out into the ocean out by Dublin Port
Hang
on the
tough.
first one. We did hang tough, we won that. We actually met another family from Tullamore. And we did actually, there was a hang tough we did it in Dunleary. They hanged us over like with a teleporter, and then just like everyone dropped off. I was last person to drop off with my family, so that's me bragging rights in the family.
At the Christmas dinner, I hung on there.
We're so competitive. Like, my brother trains, my dad trains, my sisters train, and all that type of stuff. But it was me, my brother, my dad, my sister. We all did it. We got to the final 3 years in a row.
No
Our
way.
family, yeah.
We wanted to do it last year. Lads from our area did the Mandy Angus.
Were they recent?
Last year, was it? Last year? Yeah, it was. It was recent. Wasn't the one just gone? It was one before that.
Right.
I was deadly seeing them on it. Good crack. I went to, they were in my class.
Right.
Blair was. Shout out Blair. Fair play to you.
They market us like as the RT had us like the cage fighting Daverns from Tullamore. That's the way they marketed fighting Daverns from Tullamore. But just the first year we nearly had it won. And there was like a little slip up. We had to run up these big ramps and that, and then
someone did a hammer, did he? Someone did a hammy, did he?
No, me and my brother got to the top, and say my sister got to the top, and we had it won. My dad's a tank or whatever, like he's mad into lifting weights and does a bit of running and that as well now, just to stay fit and that. Yeah, he's a beast, like he's lifting weights years and that, but he couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. 3 of us were up. We were beating the family, trying to grab him, tried to do everything. You'd see it like, and then the other family just one by one. And
whippets.
But because of that, our stock kind of rose. It was like, because everyone kind of felt sorry for us.
Yeah.
They're like, get them back. They're the winners. They were fitter and that. Because like, we would just like from.
And third time around, right? We're not doing this again. we're not gonna win this.
The third time we were down in Shannon Airport, and we had to push this like big, massive like trolley, like the trolleys that like would be pulled around with the little cars around the airport.
Yeah.
You know the ones I'm on about? You have your luggage and all that.
Yeah.
They had one of them filled up, and it was me, my brother, sister, and my dad. And we were in these hangars down in Shannon Airport, and we had to race against this other family, and we were winning the race, and like my sister slipped, and she basically just got ran over by the trolley, and she was broke up, and it was that one just like was like, oh fuck this.
Oh no.
But you know what, right?
Bit of crack.
We never won it. We got to the final 3 years in a row, but it was like, you get to a certain age, you leave your house and you leave school and that type of stuff, and that you never get to do anything. Very rare as a family.
True.
It's either weddings, funerals, parties.
Piss ups all over.
So and it was nice. There was no drink involved, nothing like that. 4 of us trained together and that, and we really wanted to win it.
Of course,
you know what I mean? Because we're competitive by nature. Like, we'd fight over the salt and the pepper on the table. You know what I mean? Just the way we are. But like, it brought us closer as a family in that. But like, a few people have been on to us about doing it again. We might give it a crack one more time.
Yeah, that'd be cool
just for the
actually.
crack.
Crack out straight. But for the people at home, right? Why would you sell the BJJ to them or the Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Why would you sell it to them?
Alright, so for my son I have a son, he's 3.5 years of age. He started it.
Did he?
Yeah, I've been training, I've been like, say, just
like Conor
planting little messages in his head.
That's why he's gonna
when he's asleep, you're gonna be
he's gonna be a world champion. I know, not that bad, but like, but basically when I teach in the gym, he's just to be running around the cage and just doing his thing. He's growing up in it. You know.
So he's gonna be in there for him.
I don't. You know what? I don't. This is my kind of. This is what I want from him. He doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to compete. He has to compete once.
Just train.
Because I want him to know. I want him to know how it is to get those feelings and to get a real sense of competing against another human and whatever else. And the wins and the losses and everything else, right?
Ups and downs.
But the 3 things I want from him is I want him to get black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I know there's going to be ups and downs, and it takes roughly 10 years to get black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's the longest martial art. No,
I just want him to train for 10 years.
These are the requirements. These are the requirements I want from him.
And what happens if he doesn't do them?
I'm going to tell you to train him, right?
Go on.
I want him to get a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because he's going to learn the highs and lows. He's going to learn respect for martial arts, and he's going to learn. You know what I mean? He's going to everything that comes with like trying to master a skill. You know, everything, the ups and downs and everything else. That's the first thing. A black belt was in jiu-jitsu. I want him to have manners, so I want him to say please and thanks. And I want him to be educated. After that, he can be and do whatever he wants. That's it. Manners, martial arts.
Not a lot.
Very good. No,
But that, as a parent, like I have to, instead of me trying to bring him up random and going, I don't know, I know what I want from him. I want him to have manners, and I want him to be educated. You know what I mean? As in, like read, write, talk, whatever. And I want him to know how to handle himself. There's actually one more that I'm going to sneak in. I want him to know how to swim for himself.
That's why I never learned as a kid.
That's all I want.
I wish my dad taught me that.
It's important.
Well, my dad couldn't swim either, but like I wish he just actually teach me. Say, hey, swim.
It's important, isn't it?
You know, I never. Now I feel like I'm a kid too. I feel like I have to teach him how to swim, but I can't even swim. I don't know. I
can't swim, but
just drop him into lessons.
Yeah, I think me and him gonna go on lessons together.
There's a local leisure centre we do. I bring my little lad down there as well, and he loves it. He loves the water. I just grab him. I do try and not try and dunk him down, but I do. Just put your head. Like when you're in the bath, son, just put your head.
Would you agree with me in saying you can tread water, but you can't swim?
Me? No. I'm a strong swimmer.
No,
you actually do.
Genuinely.
None of the way people say you can't swim if you can only tread water.
Is that true? What do you mean?
Because
you can't move from A to B.
Yeah, so like I can tread water, but I can't like actually swim, but I can stay there and stay up.
I did the community games.
I
came third in the community games when I was 16, and then on holidays I always win the races. You know what I mean? I'm a beast. So I'm gonna take that.
I don't know. I just don't know what it is.
I always have that argument with my girlfriend because she's always like, you can't swim. And I'm like, yeah, but I can tread water. I can't swim, but I can tread water. So if I fell in, I'd be able to stay there and slowly make me way over.
I say, you're not gonna wait. I think it's just the fear of when you're in the water. There's nothing to grab onto if you're about to fall. Because I've tried one time.
You've had probably bad experiences. That's what it is.
I've had a lot. Bad experience, bad dreams. I've had dreams of that.
Wet dreams.
No, I don't really have wet dreams because my dick is busy. But anyway, I don't have time for that shit. But anyway, but like I think to be honest with you, I just have like kind of like I've tried to, and when it goes like just go like this and put your legs.
He definitely can't swim.
His hands are open like this. Look, close your hands first. Make them fins.
What then happened?
He's like this. Water going through his fingers.
You could just hear the slaps even when he was doing that.
Oh, I've always had my hands open.
You can close one of you for sure.
Because I see ducks and your feet are apart and they like so I told me that's how you swim with like the way ducks. Oh, sorry.
Why do you think they made like flippers?
Oh, no, I see the secret. Just close your hands.
Close your hands.
Are you mad, man?
That's why
they're fucking webbed.
No, but
you weren't looking at pigeons. You're looking at ducks or webbed.
He was in town looking at the pigeons in the puddles.
Oh man, I didn't. Man, thanks for letting me know that now. So you just close your hands.
Just close your hands, kick your feet. That's it.
I just have to open your. Oh
say
my
prayer,
god.
hope for the best.
He's not moving. He's like
moving.
Man, I can't wait to go to a hotel.
I can't wait to go swimming.
I swear to God, I can't wait to go to hey babe, guess what?
I can't wait for that video.
I can't wait for your funeral to see you like that in a coffin.
I don't know why actually. I don't know why.
Boy,
I don't know.
I
I have to actually start doing that now. Close my hands. No way. Actually,
close your hands.
Close the hands. Take off your shoes.
That's
close your eyes.
No, I always take off my shoes. Why will you close your eyes when you're swimming? Why do you close your eyes?
He's definitely a person that doesn't wear the goggles.
No, actually I don't, because I remember I was like I just swim my eyes open and my eyes do be going red after that. It's
I'm probably like chlorine.
Yeah, like mine do be like because I like to open my eyes to see where I'm going.
I had a bad one before. Like I was out training last year in Spain and that, and I was swimming in the pool and I was playing with my young lad and that, and I kept like looking underneath, picking up ties and throwing them on the edge and that type of stuff. That night I went out for dinner and there's a thing I found out about later on. Like I was literally seeing like all the street lights had like an extra glow around them. You ever got that before? And I thought I was losing my sight. Like literally, I couldn't look at cars, couldn't look at anything. I was out in a restaurant, I was like this.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought I was losing my sight. But seemingly, if you're like swimming with your eyes open and that in chlorine, that it can.
Yeah, because the chemical of the chlorine is in your retina, because the eyes have this.
For hours, I thought I was going blind. I was worried.
It's the chlorine, the chemicals in the water. It doesn't affect me.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like
I do have that, but it's so interesting though. It's like
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, look at the color. I feel like I'm a mushroom.
I
I'm like, look at that. Look at it. But I don't know. I think
know what I'm on about though, yeah.
It's a similar thing in plumbing, but with your eyes, when people are arc welding and you get arc eye, it's like sand is in your eye. There's actually sand in your eye. It's so itchy, and your eyes go raw as fuck, man. I thought I was in tech, and I thought I got, man. I was walking by the lad and his fucking like his little flaps were open. No flaps.
What kind of plumbing is that?
No, like the shutters, the blinds on his cubicle, right?
There's flaps are open.
Flaps everywhere.
But the blinds on his cubicle was open, and you could see in. I caught it in the corner of my eye. Now that night when I went home, my eyes were fucking mad heavy and staining me and all. I was shitting myself. I thought I was getting arc eye. But like some lads actually. They weren't wearing the long sleeves, right? And they were raw red from the welding.
From welding, I've seen that happen to a few lads, yeah. Just burns the skin, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's horrible. Fucking madness it is, That was another.
That is
crazy. So we're on about jiu-jitsu, aren't we? We were on a tangent.
The tangents are the best, man.
That's what my mates were saying. That's what tangents are for.
People are gonna click on this podcast and go.
You go left, right,
Jesus,
and
do you know what?
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Kieran was on that podcast.
He's talking about microchips.
Come on, me go on and see.
Swimming.
I'm interested in jiu-jitsu. Let's watch this. Yeah. Just see Fabu D like that.
Yeah.
David trying to say that fucking wrestling is still real.
That's why it's called hat chat. You don't know what it's a when you click it, you need a hat to listen. Because
it's a whole lot of
it's bouncing off your head. But yeah, I'm happy actually. I've learned that now to close your hands when you swim.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Do you close your legs as well, or you just let it open?
I just let
just like no, because I can imagine just your leg closed as well. Just kind of like. But people do that.
That's the
you can do that. You can do the frog. You can do the frog with your feet.
That's what I'm saying.
Or you can do the doggy.
No, I see people don't. The legs are closed and you kind of like.
Breaststroke.
Yeah.
Butterfly. Back. Butterfly.
Not going to do back.
Fucking. What else is there? There's a scorpion.
What the hell? I would like to know what that looks like. Imagine going to a swimming pool and you're trying to swim and someone beside you is doing a scorpion. I'm like, what the fuck?
One leg out of the pool.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, he's choking. He needs to get out. There's a scorpion in the swimming pool, I think.
What was it? It was like, what did you say? Should everyone do jiu-jitsu?
No, for people, like what?
Sell it
to people to jiu-jitsu. People at home, why should they get into doing it?
There's a cool little saying. It's like all men were created equally, then some learn jiu-jitsu. So all men were created equally, then some learn jiu-jitsu. You could use the same way. Some men or all men are created equally, then some learn to wrestle, like proper wrestling, freestyle wrestling, or boxing or whatever it might be. It's like jiu-jitsu to me is a superpower. It's like a real life superpower, and only people that train and kind of know what it is. I remember the first time I rolled with like it was John Kavanagh. I was like a white belt. It's going back like say 12, 13 years ago or something like that, 14 years ago. And he was teaching a seminar in Kilkenny, and I went down to it. And John was around 70 kilos at the time, like say 72 kilos or so. He was fairly light. It didn't look like, he wasn't built or looked big or anything. Like, he was teaching a seminar, and then like I was a white belt. And I was like heavy enough, and cocky young lad or whatever, and I was lifting a bit of weights, fancied myself as I could fight, all that kind of crack, And then I was like, so I just said to him, John, do you want to roll? And he absolutely mobbed me, so. But it was the first time in my life, right? Humbled me. But there's two things that happen to people when they feel this for the first time. They either go, dismiss it, whatever. But it'll always be in their head. They'll feel it because it's a different type of thing that's on top of you. It's like a truck that's on top of you when you don't know what you're doing. But anyway, he absolutely mopped me in that. And then on the way home in the car, and I couldn't get him off me. Couldn't move. I thought I just bench pressed him. You know what I mean? Couldn't move him. And I went home, and one of my friends was training in around the same time and that. And I remember he turned around. And I said, like, what the fuck was that? I just couldn't move him. I can lift whatever in the gym and this and that. And I was only like 18, 19 years of age or something like that. And he said, oh, that's black belt pressure. And I was like, black belt pressure, and he was like, black belt, and that stuck with me. I was like, I need to learn that. I need to learn black belt
and
pressure.
what is black belt pressure?
Like it's just like a little term. Like say even like a good blue belt or purple belt or whatever. It's basically when another man gets on top of you and
wraps himself around it.
No, you are not getting up off the ground. If you haven't trained, you are not getting up off the ground. And he can literally just take your wallet. He can give you a wet willy. He can do whatever he wants to. It's like what I was saying to you. It's like wrestling with a gorilla. If you're an untrained person and you go at someone that's say a good grappler or something like that, it's literally like having a superpower.
Right, see the way you said wrestling with a gorilla, right? I want to jump into this, right? Khabib Nurmagomedov, right?
Yeah.
So all this shit, yeah, he wrestled with bears and all. But is he that good at grappling? Is he now? I don't know about in your eyes. Is he?
No.
I'm not saying. Doesn't matter. How do you know?
He has
Are you his best mate?
He has watched him since he's a fighter,
Yeah,
so
man.
he can know techniques and he watch people.
So would you say like he's like up there with the greatest grapplers?
So then it goes back to what we were saying. Remember we were saying there's specialists.
Yeah.
And there's people that do MMA. Like I'd say Khabib would do quite well in pure grappling, but then there's purists. There's pure grapplers that are like
And
just
smoking.
they're like, so there's a saying, right? There's black belts and then there's black belts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Like
yeah.
there's people that
Like
have
double
black
black
belts and
belt.
whatever. No, there's people that have black belts, but then there's the 1%
Like funny.
that destroy the other black belts.
No, funny.
Joe.
You know.
There's a name in my head there, black belt.
but
Joe, some Brazilian lad.
Joe.
Oh, I can't
Joe.
know.
Joe exotic.
Oh, Joe. But anyway, go on. I forget.
Well, basically, anyway, so going back to Khabib and that, like, Khabib's grappling for MMA is probably one of the best, like,
There is.
ever. For MMA, because he's not just pure grappling. He's grappling.
Pressure,
He's wearing on you. You're trying to get up. He's just wearing on you.
Yeah.
Let you come up a little bit, brings you back down. Let you come up, bring you back down. When you think you're safe, starts like landing punches and that type.
Like
So
catching
he mixes.
a fish.
He mixes his ground and pound like catching a fish.
Yeah.
So when you catch a fish, and I use this example when you like get
That's
someone
very
in
good,
submission.
Monksy. Fair
That's a
play.
great one.
That's a good one, Monks.
That's like
You don't
For a
just
man
like
that doesn't know.
you don't just like hook the fish and then try rip him out of the water. You reel him in and you tire him out a little bit and then you bring him in. That was a great one. See.
Fair ball, brother.
I don't know.
Right, I know.
I don't know about
I'm off now.
That's my job.
Unless you're using a harpoon.
when you said catching a fish, I just had this my own vision of catching fish, because I know you guys catch fish. You guys gonna drill it in, look at the fish, and throw the fish back. That's not what we do in Africa. We don't drill it. We just like let's go eat. You're like
It's a party.
It's dead already. Like, come on, motherfucker. I've been waiting all day. I'm not trying to play with you.
Oh god.
No, it's. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Just my thinking of fish.
Yeah, it's
But Khabib has a style where he's famous for a thing called the Dagestani handcuff.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, the Dagestani handcuff is a grip you can get on someone's arm. Right. Say if I'm on the ground and every one of us, if we all sat on the ground and I said get up, right? There's a certain way you get up, even like subconsciously you don't even know. I guarantee if I say stand up and you're lying on your back, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your hand, you're gonna go. So imagine I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
You're gonna go elbow, hand, and stand. So like even if you just get up off the chair.
Yeah, like that. So
See you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, so Khabib is able to, and everyone, like anyone that kind of knows what they're doing, they know there's only, if you have 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 head, there's only a certain way that you can react. It only changes like if you've now 3 arms, 3 legs. So humans can only move in a certain way.
Yeah.
When you put them into a certain position.
Man, now that you think of it, isn't it?
You funnel people into positions where they can only react a certain way. They can either turn into you, they can either stay, they can either turn away or stand up.
And
And then
you're playing them into that position. You're a few steps ahead.
That's what I'm saying. That's where
now,
you might have heard like the people say like jiu-jitsu was like chess, like human chess. It's like you put your hand here, I catch this. Or right, you put your hand here, but you actually set a trap. And
that's where it goes back to subconscious then.
That's the subconscious. So basically,
deadly.
that's what I'm saying. When you put in your hours and that, and you put something in a position on the ground, like that you've spent 10,000 hours in.
So
and
if he puts his arm there, he puts his leg there, he's focused. I know I'm going to do this. I'm going to put him in that. Bam, good.
So he's famous for a position called the Dagestani handcuff, where he wraps his hand behind your back, he grabs your wrist, he pulls your elbow. Now your pulse is gone, you can't stand up, and then he smashes you in your face with like say with uppercuts. And then he does another thing against the fence. He actually used it on McGregor. He uses it in all his fights. No, the leg lace, where you get your back is to the wall, your legs are out, and then he wraps your legs with his legs, and now he can't stand. And
I
what
see
happens?
that picture.
You seen it?
Yeah, that's like a famous picture.
It's called a leg lace position. So imagine that's your 2 feet, and Khabib's after tying up my legs. What he does is now your legs are crossed. You can't put your feet on the floor. If you
they're going down.
you can't,
Timber.
you can't go down. Like there's a position that we use in.
And Conor McGregor looked helpless in that picture. I don't know.
Just physically, but physically you can't move. You can't put your feet on the ground. You can't
Doesn't
stand.
matter if it's fucking Superman. You're not moving.
It's deep, yeah.
It is, isn't it?
But then you hear people and they're like the casual would say, just stand up. Why can't he stand up? Like, have you ever seen someone like stuck to the fence, like, and they're like, oh, just get off the fence. Like, there's people that can generate the same pressure against a wall as they can on the ground.
Yeah, I get you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you just know how to pin someone, and you wear on them and start, and you don't just go, I'm gonna get tick, I'm gonna get angry, I'm gonna get out. No, you get out by using the correct technical response. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that goes back to the invisible stuff that we're talking about. You know what I mean? There's and even like there's levels to that as well. Like you could watch
levels to this shit.
There's levels to everything.
Yeah, isn't there?
There's levels to everything.
I'm just buzzing for this McGregor fight. Outright. There's nothing better than McGregor fight week.
No, it's the best, isn't it?
As he wasn't doing any promos. He wasn't doing any media this year. So he's
just focused.
He was focused as fuck. I think he's gonna second
round.
round.
That's what I'm saying. I just want.
I'm
saying here because it's gonna be before. It's out before the fight. So I'm gonna say second round head kick.
I'm gonna go first round TKO.
Yeah.
Just gonna go, just to be different. But I'm leaning towards second as well.
I just want him to win. I don't care. I just want to. Then I'm like, thank you, Jesus Christ. I really genuinely want him to, because if he does win, I'll be happy.
I think he'll win this one. Every fight's different.
Yeah.
Every fight's different. Just because you beat someone some way the last time, that's not guaranteed. It's a brand new fight.
Change it up.
That was the best thing I think I've seen him do. Was remember he used his shoulders.
Yeah, sneaky, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's against
that caught fucking. Was that Aldo?
No, Cerrone.
Cerrone, was it?
Yeah.
Aldo was there.
Oh, that was quick. No, that man didn't know what was going on when he threw them shoulders at him.
No, because even after he was like, that's your elbow.
Yeah.
He was like, you help me. And then McGregor's like that.
There's actually something that like beautiful, right? So say basically like there's two certain types of fighters. There's like a slow starter and a fast starter. Same as McGregor's a sprinter.
Yeah,
he's just out. You see the way he takes center off, gone. He just.
That's what he always says. When every man that fights me always takes the back step. That's what he says.
He's a fast starter. Whereas Cerrone is like he's known for being a slow starter. He needs to be hit a few times. Let's dance at my pace for a little bit. Let's just dance, touch and go. Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, now I'm gonna build confidence. Whereas McGregor's like, no, there's no feeling out. It's like that's how he was able to do that. Cerrone. Obviously, he was better, like skill wise.
And that was at 170 as well.
170, yeah.
That's mad that he can walk around at 170, man.
McGregor.
Yeah,
McGregor's a big lump.
He's in the length of his arms, big wingspan on him.
Yeah. He does. He's like a distinct build, doesn't he?
Doesn't he, man?
And I'd say like going back, we were talking about playing football and that when you're younger. Like a lot of lads that I know that like say fight or like do jiu-jitsu or anything like that played football have bigger legs. Just have big calves and big quads.
So that's why Aldo for them 10 years was a beast, because he played legs. Because he played football in Brazil. He was a beast. He was a football.
McGregor's the same, isn't he? Big legs.
Aldo looks like he just destroyed his career.
Yeah, he broke a lot, didn't he, mentally?
Like, going back to what you said about the manifesting.
Too much.
See the manifesting, remember the video of the clip of him practicing that move? And then it just goes to the clip of him knocking him out.
But then it goes back to what we were saying, right? So as mad as that is, and if you look at it as a technical point of view, McGregor's a southpaw, right?
Yeah.
So let's put a number on it. 90% of the people that he would spar and train and fight would be orthodox fighters. Right, so he's more used to fighting an orthodox fighter rather than an orthodox fighter is fighting a southpaw.
So you're trying to say he's actually used to doing that move, blocking it.
Exactly. So it goes if I bait him in on a shot, if I just stick my head out a little bit, like he did to Alvarez, stick my head out just a little bit, and then he takes the bait, then I slip, and then I land that left hand that I land every single week in
Madison Square Garden.
So that's what it is. It goes back to the thing about we were saying about grappling, like. There's only certain ways you can kind of react.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? It's the same with against elite strikers. They just know the way you move.
Khabib brings them into deep waters.
You know, they just know the way you move.
He brings them into deep waters, doesn't he, Khabib?
Khabib grounds people.
Khabib honored McGregor a little bit down. He just.
But saying that now,
something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just because I remember when Conor McGregor was fighting Aldo.
Yeah.
Conor was like he was just in that kind of like lion mode, like all skinny. Come on, man, come on.
Yeah.
And he literally took Aldo down.
Yeah.
And
Aldo was flat.
Yeah, flat.
Yeah,
and he did the same. He tried the same thing with Khabib. Like, come on. And Khabib was like, come here, you sit down.
Well, like, you
know what I mean? Like, sit down.
That level changed though, wasn't it?
You know,
it was the fake and then shoot.
Shot straight for a single. Well, McGregor did well to defend the single. Like
The first time round,
I think he was the first person to win rounds against Khabib.
First round.
He was winning the one he lost as well, did he? Is that right? I heard that recently.
You're right, exactly.
I never watched Khabib's fight. That was my first time to see him fight.
I love Khabib's side.
I remember when Conor fight Khabib, I was like, who's this guy? I never knew who he was, to be honest with you. It was just true.
See the way you're saying that, yeah? Did you ever see the people that Khabib, so he has, let's say he has fucking 30 odd wins, right? Say 15 of them against fellas that are fucking like 6-2, fucking 3-1, like a lot of them are bones.
But here's the thing, right? So MMA is like say fairly new. Boxing does that like the whole time.
Boxing does that madness.
If you're a prospect and you're a good young lad coming up, like it makes sense to give them ring time instead of putting them in with the sharks. Like let them feel
it. Football with friendlies.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to build a young fighter, build them correctly. Don't put them in with like killers.
I know,
let them make their mistake at amateur and then like learn their craft. And
I know, but then when you have fighters, then they're saying, should I 30? You know, I mean, you're not fighting fucking 20 odd bums.
But I don't know what his record is. But the beginning was probably that.
Yeah.
But as he signed to the UFC and that, like he only beat.
He should. Yeah, he should have the. He should just say go from when he joined the UFC. Yeah, that's my win streak. Yeah, right. You've never lost. Fair play to you. It's 9-0.
The first lad he fought in the UFC was I think Gleason Tebow. He was like a stocky. I think he was Brazilian or something like that. But I think I'm right. I think it was the only fight that he couldn't take your man down or keep him down.
Black lad, I think, was he?
No, he was Brazilian, so kind of.
Yeah, tanned.
It's a good word.
Shallow skin, homeless skin.
Homeless skin.
They're not white, they're not black, because no one is claiming them.
Oh, it's homeless skin.
Oh, no,
did you say homeless skin?
Delete that part.
That was a cracker.
Alright.
That was a cracker, bro. That's exactly what skin was.
No, but I'm just, it's the way it is. But I never think that's the way it works though, because it's like for you to be a professional fighter, you have to build a profile. You have to give you a good kind of like 220-0. No way.
You know Lomachenko?
Of course.
Yes.
Lomachenko. Like he, what was he? 296-1 is his amateur record.
So remember we were talking about Padjo Hoyland.
296-1. That's why he makes it. That's why he looks like he's in the Matrix when he's fighting pro.
Yeah.
He's had 300 fights as an amateur, so he's made all his mistakes and that.
That's probably like how many fights that be a year, man? That's madness here.
It's just, but the difference with boxing and that and MMA at the moment is they fight nearly every couple of weeks as amateurs.
Yeah. You know, Padjo Hoyland was supposed to be Lomachenko's first pro fight, wasn't it? Yeah. Remember he said that on the podcast?
Oh, he did actually.
No, the lad I was telling you about, the boxer from around here, Padjo Hoyland.
Yeah.
Lomachenko was supposed to fight Padjo for Lomachenko's first professional fight, and it fell through, I think, didn't it?
He was coaching in SPG for a while, SPG Taller or something. He was out with the boys in SPG HQ as well. John's best. I think there's a sparring clip of him and McGregor, no?
Yeah.
On YouTube funny, now. Yeah, that's in Long Mile Road.
Yep,
we're getting the. Do you know when you're in the pub, right? And there's that one fella at the end of the night that says, "Right, folks,
last orders,
wrap it up." Jordan's doing that right now.
I'm just letting you know how long we're recording.
No, I'm just saying we're coming to the end of it.
No, before we
we literally have. How many questions did we answer? One.
No.
I think we got.
I have one question actually. Before we get to the end of this, right?
There is no end.
Well, anyway, I just want to get this out because see the way you do like MMA fights and like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. How, like for example, has there been any part or this journey in your life whereby you've actually wanted to give up?
Struggled.
And you wanted to give up, but you overcame that problem.
My first night.
Yeah, and how? Can you please explain how did you actually overcome it?
Well, so the only reason I got into like jiu-jitsu and MMA at that time was like to just learn how to defend myself, and then just because as a young lad then you don't want to learn how to fight and that type of stuff. And I did a bit of kickboxing and I did a bit of boxing and karate as a kid and that, and I wanted to get back to it. I just felt that I was working on building sites. So I was chatting to you before, like I was laying blocks and I was a brickie by trade when I first left school, got me papers and all that type of stuff.
The dying breed.
Yeah, the rare breed. But like there was only like say one place in the Midlands. It was a small little spot in Portlaoise and it was in a Mockra hall. And it was like, say, basically one of my good friends now, he was my coach at the time, and he trains with me now at the moment. His name's John Ging.
Yup, John Ging.
Yup, John Ging.
Yup, that boy.
Basically, I ended up, I was working on a building site in Mount Rapp. We were building a school, and the crane driver there, we just got chatting, and we were chatting him every day, and I was just said, I want to get into this MMA crack, and I'd love to do it. And he said, my mate does it in Portlaoise. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah.
Jesus, must have been shouting at each other if you were talking to the crane.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm lying. He wasn't a crane driver. He was a banks man.
Yeah, the banks man,
You know the ones that actually control the crane?
Oh, the electric trains, yeah?
Yeah, not the lad that was...
Yeah, just like the little yoke around.
Yeah, that was him.
You know what? They're cunts there on sites.
This lad was sound. He got me into MMA. This lad's name was John as well.
Yup, John.
I haven't seen him in years, but like, so basically he said my mate does a bit in Portlaoise and that, and it was in a rundown Mockra hall. Ceilings were falling down. It was like we had to pull the mats out off the stage at night time or whatever else. So, long story short, I borrowed my girlfriend's Fiesta, right? No power steering or anything like that, and then drove over to the place, put my hand in the door, and then all I could hear was like, this is rough. This is back in the day, like years ago, like when we were very young. It was like cage fighting back then.
Right.
And I heard lads in there was like heavy metal music, and I could hear lads hitting pads, and it was like whoa, you know all this sound.
Yeah, give
I had my hand in the door, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go in. And then I was like, fuck this, I'm not going, I'm just going to go home and just say it wasn't on or something like that. Because I just, it was that fear, you know what I mean? And then I turned around and I was like, oh, Siri, was it? We are Siri.
She literally just said, don't listen to him, he's trying to
There you go. Hey, oi boys.
Yeah, man.
Siri.
But basically what I did is I put my hand in the door and I wasn't going to go in, and I was like, fuck it. And I went in and it changed my life. That's the truth.
That's the
truth.
With the boys.
Yeah, with the boys. Yeah, here on the podcast, highlighting my career. Web feet and
web feet. Yeah, we talk about your career. You're going over to do a tournament now shortly.
Yeah.
You're going. Tell us a bit about that.
So
tournament.
doing a big tournament in 4 weeks' time. Basically, there's 3 of us from Ireland that I picked to represent Ireland and UK. So it's Team Ireland UK. There was myself, a lad from Limerick. His name's Tom Halpin, and a lad from Dublin called Darragh O'Connell.
Shout out the boys.
Yeah, all the boys, right? And they're the best at what they do, right?
Yep.
And so there's 3 of us, and then there's 5 other English lads, and we're taking on Team USA. And for us, this is like the biggest names, or some of the biggest names in grappling, in the sport, and they'd be well known. Some of them were world champions, and they were like household names and all that. Yeah. But for us, we've everything to gain and nothing to lose. This is kind of like the thing. This is what we've been working for our whole career.
Showcase, use our skills.
We get to go represent Ireland and show what like we can do in that, because jiu-jitsu in Ireland that is like building now at the moment. There's loads of good young guys coming through.
A lot of money to do this and sponsorships and stuff like that.
Well, like I have sponsorship. Like the crowd that sponsor me are Tatami Fightwear. They're like
shout out to Tatami Fightwear.
Yeah, big shout out to them. I'm lucky enough that I'm in a position where I've built my gym from basically like from the back to work scheme. That's why I opened up my gym at the recession, to where now I can make a living off it and that. And I coach full time. I travel, all that type of stuff. So I'm all right now. But in the beginning it was rough, and I was on the dole and everything, trying to set it up. But I am where I am now.
I need to get off that dole shit actually.
It's free money. It's grand. But basically we're doing a thing called Polaris Squads. It's August 7 in Southampton. It's live on UFC Fight Pass, so you can either watch me go in and submit a lot of lads.
Now I want to watch you now, because I've listened to you now. I'll be honest with you, I never watch you, but now I'm genuinely I'm not really, because I'm being honest with you. You just kind of you diverge in my mind of MMA, like or fighting, because I didn't see the way you explained it today. So I genuinely want to watch you now, and I mean I hope you knock the motherfuckers out.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's gonna be a good competition. It's gonna be the first competition back in front of a crowd, so it's a live crowd in Southampton.
It's a big one for us.
So when is this gonna be?
August 7 in Southampton.
August 7th. I have to put that
we'll be down here watching that.
7th of August. That'll be so cool.
We'll have a few bip bops down here.
It's going to be a good one.
So,
it's a new format. It's called Polaris Squads, and basically what they do is it's like winner stays on type thing, and you don't know who you're going to compete against till lift.
That is a mad setup. In my mind, that is a mad setup.
Wow.
You know what I'm thinking? Yeah, you're in the chip, right, and you're scrapping some dude and all his mates with one after another. That's exactly what it is. Right, but
and someone says it's my ball and going home,
or it's my pillow off the swing and he goes in. For young lads going through the jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, any sort of mixed martial arts, anything like that, how did it come about to get yourself sponsored?
Right, so what I would say is it kind of goes back to what we were saying at the beginning before we start the podcast, like concentrate on the process. Don't
Trust the process.
You know, just try not to be like. I know everyone wants to be like an Instagram influencer and that type of stuff. Trust your coaches, trust your training, your training environment, your team, and everything else. Put in the work every day and just show up. Like say, if you're injured, sit on the mats and look at training. Like you'll learn something, and basically like just be all in. And then as a result of that, and putting yourself out there competing in that, then you'll get sponsorship or whatever it might be. But what I would say is don't focus on sponsorships. Focus on getting your skill to a certain level where you deserve sponsorship.
Of course,
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Don't go out there thinking
No one needs it.
Someone needs a sponsor. Go out there and earn the sponsorship.
Earn the sponsorship.
Cheer that, Nathan, yeah.
I like that because
You're
that's
happy.
Yeah, that's what.
that's
Young
actually so
man there.
true.
You'll do well. Don't worry.
What do you think of that?
You're happy.
The sponsorship thing. Are you trying to get sponsorship?
Well, like if I get one, like it'd be good to have.
That's our boy Nathan there. That's our new
Shout
video.
out to Nathan.
I think it works.
Jiu-jitsu quality.
That sponsorship works with like everything you do in life.
Yeah.
If
Like
anybody
when
wants
you-
to sponsor
like if you-
podcasts as well, you can do it. I mean, anyone
Sponsor me is what I'm on about.
It's just like podcast. It's just like podcasts, like comedies, like whatever you do. If you do something and you're looking to get sponsored. Because you want to get sponsored. I mean, if you're good at what you do, and you know whatever you're doing is great, it just happened, man. I've been on the trip, and you get to a stage whereby you would choose who you want to.
Yeah, instead of.
Do you understand? Looking for it, you just choose who wants to come to you.
And as I said, authenticity sells. Be yourself. Be original. If you're not
be first. If you can't be first, be different.
I love that. I think I'm gonna steal that. That's my new way now. If you can't be first, be different.
I'm his biggest fan.
No, well, I am now.
I'm your biggest fan.
I am now.
I'm his only fan.
He's my only fan. When we're on it, sign up to my OnlyFans.
I love that saying now. If you can be first, be different.
Yeah, so true, isn't it?
I love that.
Just be yourself and try not be like a.
I love that because the way I see it, right, it's like I'm running a race. And you're a man that just went first. I'm like, fuck you, I'm different, I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah. It's like the.
Imagine the Olympics or something. Fucking. I sprint, and he's going across the field, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's he doing? And he's like, "I'm being different."
And you know what? Because you know what? That would take me place because I've done something that has never been done in a race. You're about to go second way, you went left.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That would make papers. You know what I mean?
It's like, did you ever do that poem in school, Robert Frost?
The road not taken or something.
Yeah, the road less taken or least taken or something.
Do you understand?
Like two paths diverge in the woods.
Yeah.
I chose the one less travelled by, and that made all the difference.
Yeah, it's the way it is.
You know what I mean? So true. Instead of going down the road of like we were talking about like young lads and that, like said drinking and you know what I mean, just not. It's easy to do that. It's hard to like make yourself like be disciplined. Go do jiu-jitsu. Go do MMA, boxing, kickboxing, or whatever else. It's easy to go to house parties and do all this type of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Do you understand?
That's the one that makes all the difference.
And it's the way I see. That's the way I saw Conor McGregor as well.
Yeah, he chose the path less travelled.
Do you understand? Exactly. Yeah. He wasn't the best, but he was different.
And he was.
Do you understand? He wasn't number one. He was different. So if you can't be number one, be different. He went in there being different, and look at where he is today.
100%. Yeah.
Do you understand?
And when you see people trying to be him, it's cringy.
It doesn't make it.
Oh
no.
There's a fella, Sean O'Malley. So he came out recently. Says, "Look, Conor McGregor is a big influence on me, or kind of a style." But
shout out Sean O'Malley.
But he elaborated on the style, put his own twist on it. As you said,
but I think with technique and that, like you can obviously look at the best fighters in the world and the best, you know,
and use the technique
and use that. But like when it comes to personality,
you have to have your own
and style and clothes and whatever. Be you.
I'm not even going. There's a few people that try and be him. Like, isn't there like I'm not gonna say.
What would your name be?
If what?
What was your fight?
He's already know me. We've been doing pretty. I'll tell you something. So mine be David the Anesthetic Simpson. Anesthetic because I put you to sleep.
Yeah. That would be crazy though. Imagine if I'm a fighter, I won't be called. I'm gonna be called Fabu D the Tinker. Because I won't just fight straight away. I'm just gonna start thinking. Oh, wait, 2 seconds. Wait. You know,
there's no 2 seconds, man. Someone's coming at you.
Man, I would love to. I just want to do it.
Why don't you do the Whipped Warrior?
That'd be cool, man. That's what I'm saying to you. I will make because I would be different.
Why don't you do it? Would you do it though?
Yeah, I would do it. I just would do it because I'll do it for just my mind.
Can I tell you something, right? My sister did Whipped Warrior. She fought and that was it was a mad scene. Like say she fought and I think it was either I think she won or it was a draw. I think she won. Yeah, she won her fight or whatever. It wasn't finished. It went decision.
Right.
But like say, I just remember we were training all these people. I couldn't coach her because like obviously she's my sister. But I was coaching the other person she was fighting in the gym, so I had to sit back and just watch it and not say, just let it be, and then and trust that two of them be safe and they do their thing or whatever else.
Right.
But what I said to people like, especially when you're starting out fighting, it's literally a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning when you're training for, you're like, oh, this is fun, yeah, we're learning MMA, blah blah, and then it's 4 weeks out, and you're like, shit, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And then the doubt starts to creep in.
Yeah.
Then you're 2 weeks out, and then you see people that start to panic. Do you know what I mean? And then
I
they're
would
a
be
week
like
out.
It's not a bad idea.
But that's
I think
normal.
you should
But
do it.
the biggest thing is there's a saying, and it's like you can't control the doubts, but you can control the outcome of the doubts or how you react to the doubts. Everyone has self doubts. But the thing is, like, right, fuck it, feel the fear and do it anyway.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's what's the thing about courage? Like, courage isn't like the absence of fear. It's like feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
You must have a book at home
I
loaded of
thought we
sayings.
were after getting fucking Seamus Heaney on that in a second.
Oh, that's a
Oh, I have another one.
Yeah, but look.
And I
You're
read a
crap.
lot and listen to stuff, and then obviously
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
coach and that, and then you learn.
You're
things
well
and
educated anyway, by you. Tell you that.
Maybe anyway.
Tell you that, mate. You're well educated.
Oh, genuinely look, and if someone wants to do that Wimp to Warrior stuff, so you have to go.
Wimp to Warrior, down Tullamore, down to boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it.
But
Fabu D
Warrior,
is going to be
Tullamore.
there Monday morning. He's training now in the gym. Change her up. Go to Wimp to Warrior. Do the 20 weeks.
We're going to get you
And
down for a grappling session, though, aren't we?
Yeah,
I'll get you down.
okay, so listen, right? So
Well, I'll put you in with some 16 and 17 year olds and see how you
I
small
want to
lads.
do it then.
And I have a girl.
Exactly. That's what
I have a girl, right?
Then we wanna do
If
it.
you're ever in Tullamore, I have a girl.
What you
She's
wanna do with
60
the girl?
kilos, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Marie Kennedy, right?
You up,
She's a
Marie.
beast.
You on,
Right,
Marie.
she's,
Marie.
she's gonna fight me.
She's gonna grapple you. And
Just
we're gonna see how you
grapple,
do.
no
Me
fight,
and
no
Marie.
punches, man.
She's 60 kilos. I want to see how you do.
If she actually.
No, she's gonna murder you.
She won't
No,
murder me.
I'm telling you, she's gonna murder you.
Really?
No,
I
seriously.
put my money on it. She won't murder me.
No, right.
Explain
no,
though.
I put my
Explain
money-
to him what
Because
grappling
she-
is.
right, no time limit, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna grapple with her. You're gonna try to submit her, right? And she's gonna try to submit you. No time limit. We'll lock the cage. No punches, and we'll see how
Set
you
a
do.
date there. Set a
She's
date.
60 kilos.
Set a date,
She might be
maybe there.
61.
What's 60 kilos? No, you said
60 kg.
60 kg.
Man,
She weighs the same as a laptop.
and she's gonna win me in like just.
Yeah.
Right, that's set.
And then if you want to test yourself like even more,
That would be. I
I'll give
would
you
do
60.
it.
I'll give you 60.
Actually, you know what? I would do it. I would do
Would you
it.
do
handshake.
it?
I would
Gypsy's
do-
handshake.
I would do it. I would send that.
Yeah?
I would do it.
Deal?
Yeah, I would do
Send
that.
it.
I would do that.
I can't wait for you to like grab her around the neck like that, and then she's gonna look down
Slip.
at your hands and go,
And laugh at
he's
you.
a great swimmer.
But look,
I swear to God, I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna choke her, and I'm gonna just listen. And I'm gonna remember what you said.
No, she's gonna kill you.
No,
Yeah, look,
I'm
telling you.
gonna run quickly and just choke her real fast, and I'm gonna remember what you said. Breathe.
He's gonna be choking her like that.
The only thing that's
I'm
gonna
gonna be
save you.
breathing.
The only thing that's gonna save you is
I'm gonna breathe.
the wet
I'm just gonna breathe.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, don't fight it.
don't go
Don't
over
fight
there
it,
and do
don't.
that.
Well, what we'll do is I'll start you off with Marie. She's 60 kilos. If you do well,
70.
I'll give you one of the 16-year-old lads.
I will
16-year-old
destroy
boy.
all of them. I can't
No,
wait.
I
As long
can't
as
wait for
as
this.
long as they're my
He's
as
gonna
my
be
age.
humble.
I have a 16-year-old.
16-year-old.
We can't wait.
I have a 16-year-old. He's about this height, right?
We can't wait to
His
commentate on this.
His name's
I
Bernie
commentate.
Ward. His name's Bernie Ward. He's fighting for
Oh,
Team
fuck.
Ireland in Bulgaria. in 3.5
Bernie
weeks'
Ward
time.
is gonna slap chops off you.
And I have another young lad. His name's Jordan Scully.
Whoop,
He's
Jordan.
17, a little bit bigger. So we'll build you up.
Anyone called
And
Bernie
if you
is
beat Marie and you beat Bernie and then you beat Jordan,
Bernie
we'll try
sounds
and get
like
you. We'll get you a small man, like a small man, maybe 65, 70 kilos. Was training
No
a year or two,
way.
and we'll see how it goes.
Chap, just
Man, I
just
can't-
do the wimp, man.
Yeah,
Do
you
the
should.
warrior.
No, do the
But
grappling
don't
thing
fight
for the crack and
Bernie.
see how it goes.
Right,
Don't fight Bernie.
boys,
because-
we're gonna close this episode off by saying, Kieran, what a gent of a man.
Yeah.
A wonderful
Thanks very
guy.
much for coming
A
on.
fucking
Oh,
Thanks
absolute.
for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna say
It was a good
Johnny
laugh
man,
and
but
good
you're a
lesson.
legend of a man.
Right.
and look, good luck in the tournament coming soon.
7 of
Thanks very
us.
much, boys.
Make sure
Appreciate
we're
it.
gonna watch it.
We'll watch it.
110%.
I
Thanks
can't
for
wait.
coming on, brother.
Cheers. Thanks
Thank
very
you
much for
for
having
watching.
me.
I'm gonna have
Appreciate
a
it.
few pop
Thank you
ups.
very much,
Cheers.
bro. Thank you so
Sound
much.
boys.
Boys, look. So if I don't see you through the week, I see you through the window.
And keep your head out the microwave.
If we don't see you square, we'll see you around.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's the square.
That's
Good night and God bless.
a really cool way to say bye. Actually, that's really deadly, man.
Yeah, but wait. Don't finish yet.
We have to talk about CX,
No,
you know.
you have to have an outro.
Alright, come on, we need an outro.
Okay, go. Oh, have you done it already?
No.
That's our outro.
How many episodes have you listened to, man?
So after I say mine, you have to say something.
Oh, okay, cool. Bye.
No, wait.
I hate those.
Alright, go.
I'm gonna go see you through the week. I'll see you through the window.
And keep your head out the microwave.
And bye.